better known as Mechanism, episode 31. We're here. We got some DMCs. Got some heads moving back and forth like fucking bobbleheads. Demonetized already for cursing. All right.
Did we swear already? I don't remember swearing.
I mean, it is what it is. DMC, it stands for Demonetized Mecha Channel, so that's where we are.
We are inappropriate.
Huh?
We are inappropriate.
Yep.
Appropriate.
Oh man, 5x5. We're in the pipe, kids. All right. So with that being said, we're gonna forego introductions because I think you guys know all of us already, right? And we're just gonna get into the DMC. That's what everybody wants. That's what everybody came here to watch, and
Bam.
I think all that, right? All right. So first one of the night goes is from our girl B.
Yeah. Let's get it.
She says, "What that butt do?" Anybody want to take that one?
It takes a fucking nap. That's what it does.
What that butt do? No, I didn't think
So,
so. Moving on.
You moving?
Dumps like a truck, I'll tell you that much.
Shit. Woo. Yeah. Thank you, B. Wherever
Nothing
you
but a
are.
wagon.
Wherever you are, thank you.
Making it deep right off the bat.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's I figured we'd get that one out of the way first, and then it's because it's kind of we cruise from there.
She sent me one too, and it was phenomenal. But I'm not gonna say it on stream.
Why not?
It's too deep. It's too.
I just said how that, dude. I just said how that butt do. Like, can it get any deeper than that?
Bill was saying
deep.
portfolio.
Your butt can get deeper.
We got Bill out there saying twerk it, Julio. That's lovely.
Jesus.
It was.
Anyway.
I don't want to say it on stream. It's too real. I'll tell you later.
So
Terrible.
you would know.
It's terrible. Anyway, all right. So let's see here. We're gonna try to salvage some of these questions from last week when we were all just kind of drunk idiots.
Yeah,
Or at least I was.
last week.
So Gumbla Uruguay, Mr. Javier, says, how do you guys handle burnout after a big build?
Oh man.
Ooh, dude, do I know about that?
Yeah?
6 months on a resin scratch build, like making
Preach.
the whole city, like man alive. Talk about burnout. I dreamt nothing but those pieces, everything about them inside and out. It was horrific. I think that I instead of like taking away, I went back at the bench. I got into my backlog that I've been looking at for 6 months and not being able to touch, and I snapped up. Just talking about this on my stream the other night. I snapped up the Hammer, the Hazel Custom, and something else big that I just snapped in, like. No. That guy didn't have until recently. This was like years ago. I don't know, but I snapped him up in like literally like 3 days. I was putting a kit together a day. It's just clean build, rage through it, and just like decompress. At least that's how I tend to do it.
When you snap, you turn off your brain, man. Like
a little bit, I could sit back and like let somebody else kind of control it a little bit more. I wasn't like trying to figure out like how am I going to make this piece look like this thing in scale and then work integrated with all the other parts that all have to work together.
Too much follow directions at that point.
Some small breaks.
Yeah. You put one Zaku together, you put them all together.
Right?
Kind of, yeah.
What about you? What about you, Kel Exotic? Mr.
Exotic.
Nah, I just work on my car or something else. I just got to keep away from plastic at all times.
Yeah.
Either that or go out for night races, but no, I can't even do that. So.
You saw some dude crashed his like super $100,000 car in Manhattan.
He was like zipping through the empty streets and shit.
Yeah.
Nice, idiot.
Crashed the hell out of it.
That's why people can't have things.
Right?
I mean,
who gave you money?
Chances are, if you can afford it, you can afford to crash it.
Yeah. What were you doing? I was speeding.
We can only hope that he ends up a paraplegic.
Oh my God. I don't have no idea what happened to them. He was probably fine.
It's probably a little too dark, but don't speed. in
All
the
these
city.
cars explode with foam. Like, kill a new one.
Like, what the fuck was that Sylvester Stallone movie? Look, Time Cop?
Demolition-
Was it? No, what was that?
I thought it was
Demolition Man. Yes,
Demolition Man.
yes.
We're there now.
All right, cool. I don't know. Everybody's
We're in
still
that society. Yeah, that's a society right now. Demolition Man.
Enhance your calm, John Rando, or whatever his name is. We're going to Taco Bell for dinner.
Oh, man.
All restaurants are Taco Bell. Yeah, that is a classic movie. I don't give a shit who says what. Classic movie.
Which one?
So underrated.
Demolition
Too.
Man.
And who doesn't know how to use the 3 clam shells, right? Or the 3 shells, right?
Yo, the first one's for big scoops. The second one is for details. And the last one is just for bits and pieces you still got in there.
If you got bits and pieces for the third one, then you're doing it wrong, Julio.
No. The first one's just a big getaway. Second one, you grab more. And the last one, you grab the rest. It's not hard. It's not hard to use shells.
I don't know how big your crevice is at this point, man. But like that's
You know how to use shells, bro?
This here is DMC, you guys.
Yeah.
We're getting
I
deep
am
on the
Deep with the shells.
I
with
am
the
lost
shells.
away in all these references.
Darlen's
Oh,
never
right.
seen it. She's never
What
seen
year?
it.
Yeah, I mean, what year did Demolition Man come out? That might be older than Jay is.
Wow, it might be.
I want to say 90. No, even 94.
yeah, 94. I think 94, 95, maybe.
So what? Hold on. What year? You were born in '99, Jay, right?
Google it.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus!
So-
Yeah, that's
Beyond like
probably
93.
older than you are.
It came out 93.
Mm.
He doesn't
way
know how to
older.
use the she shells.
No, Pep just has a dirty camera. He's not smoking it up.
It's the reflection from my light. See, it's like
Oh yeah, I was gonna say yeah. He's not smoking it up.
Yeah, he's hotboxing in his studio right now.
Pabs is a good boy.
always. I'm the pure one.
Boxing?
What was that, Jay? All I hear is your chickens.
I know we're bastards.
You're
Do
the
they
peanut
call
gallery
it-
back there for real.
do they call it hot
Go,
boxing
Gary.
in England?
Did they call it hotboxing in England? That's a good question.
Yes, they do. It is hotboxing.
Now,
It
what
sounds
was
different though.
What was the
Hotboxing.
punishment in Hogwarts for having weed on you?
I don't know. Something I heard Harry Potter. I heard hotboxing from a New York man. Oh, sorry, Jay, what was that?
What was the punishment for having weed on you in Hogwarts, Pabs? Think you
Oh,
win.
it was 10 lashes at least.
You have to give a pinch to the ground.
10 lashes at least.
I gotta get this one off. I'm laughing.
Okay, look, anyway, back on topic. I feel burnout on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
So working on something like the Jaeger Mirage Twin Tower every day, it invokes feelings within you. Like this is kind of like it goes back to a previous topic we talked about balance. Like it's okay to step
Everybody.
away and spend time with other hobbies, or I like to spend time with my wife and dogs, and just refresh myself away from looking at the cutting mat and resin and plastic and other stuff. At least for me, anyway.
I actually did that the last couple of days. I just stepped away from my desk. I was like, I can't sit here anymore. I'm putting in too much time right here, So I did step away. It's good. It's good.
It's a good balance. A good balance.
Do you, your wife, and your dogs all get in a dog pile?
Sometimes, yeah, man.
That's dope.
I miss that. To be honest with you, like my dog, my big ass dog, and my wife, we used to like powwow on the ground and shit. That was tight.
Yeah,
my big I don't know how heavy he is now. Maybe 70 or 80 pounds. He doesn't like being carried.
Yeah,
So
I know that.
I always threaten to carry him. So he plays around that way.
What
He
breed of
tries to
dog
run
do you
away.
have, Paps? I was under the impression you had like a little fluff ball.
I have 2 dogs. I have I have a Pomeranian and a German Shepherd / Golden Retriever mix.
That's a big dog.
Yeah.
So he's got a very
I have
British
a
dog
golden.
and a very American dog.
Yeah, pretty much.
How big is the golden mix?
He's pretty big. He's like he's like 70 or 80 pounds. He's
Oh
I
wow!
don't know, he's up to my knees. I want to say I was still below my
Because
knees.
I have a
dog, yeah.
golden and she's 95.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, flush
And an
it.
APT, he was 130.
That's a big
You
boy.
guys remember my big ass dog? We used to poke his head in right over here on the side. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
a big, like 130 pound dog. Yeah,
That's a big boy.
Last
yeah.
time I
We
got
carried
on
him up the stairs because he had bad knees.
and she gave me a black eye.
Sure, on my birthday, you dicks are totally straight. Brian's drinking coffee and I'm half trash. Twilight Zone, tugging dogs. There's
I am drinking
DMCism,
coffee.
bro.
You're correct. It's a
You
good
should have been born a week earlier. All right?
1 week earlier. You could've got a Hulk.
There we go.
Oh.
We're done, William.
Hey, happy birthday, Edward.
Happy birthday, dude.
Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Happy
good man. Good man. Good man. Oh, there it is. Yep, there it is. Throwing him up. Throw him up.
He just started 2 wars.
Right?
He just started to. 2 gunplay gangs are now rumbling.
You know?
It's
He's rumbling. It's
Queen.
beef tonight.
Either that or there's a baseball game that's really messed up right now.
I know.
Here you go, Edward. I swapped it over to.
Z says, can the audience hear from Maverick on the burnout topic?
What?
We heard from him already. He said that he gets away from the bench. He throws a big sheet over it, snips an onion, walks away.
Takes a big bite out of it.
Yeah, it burns out cars and shit.
Yeah,
He goes racing.
The chirping, Dave B. The chirping sound in the background is John Lynn's Chicky Chicks.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Full of chicks.
Saber. I'm working on their big bird coop, and
She got the girls in the truck, about 12 chicks deep.
I'm sorry, you work. I have some side chicks. We got Chirpy B. We got Little Cat, Little Julio.
Turkey bee.
Chirpy
I
B.
love that. Side chicks. That's about the best, dude. That is about the best.
I think Turkey bee is probably the best name.
Ew, Turtle said you got nuggets. No, nuggets. Like,
Oh, they're not nuggets anymore. They're big. I have
Ruslan with the Z burn.
to carry these damn things
she
now.
got chickens now. She doesn't have
Oh,
chicks
Julio,
anymore.
let me tell you about that bastard Julio. Yeah, she had managed to escape 5 times this week. We're talking. I look over and she's somehow out of it.
Looking at you.
And she got on the ground and I chased her around the house for like fucking 10 minutes.
So it's like a normal experience.
I'm not saying it was Kentucky Fried Chicken time, but I'm just saying I got pretty close that day.
You gotta fatten her up.
Cornish
Oh,
game hen over there.
Yeah,
She's the
pancakes.
biggest, she's the biggest one of the bunch.
It's gonna be tasty.
That's dark, Julio. Julio's like, can I eat Julio?
Yeah, I want to. If I ever met myself in like a time thing, I'd eat myself. You get stronger.
Like the one with the one.
Yeah. Except you have to eat
Jet
them.
Li, the one. Oh, is it the one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
the
one.
one. Yeah.
The one? Yes, it is the one, yes.
I watched it like 3 months ago, I think.
Okay, I just need Jay training like Rocky. Can I get some?
Dun, dun,
Get some
dun, dun, dun.
I mean, I have been working on the metaphysical gains, but
Going hard. Getting hard.
Sometimes they're the only games that really matter.
True that. All right. So moving on. Let's go. Our boy Kyle, Clueless Gunpla.
Hey, big
Oh,
cup.
no.
And he's actually got a few on here. So and they're pretty good. Is it wrong to copy another builder's design for personal use?
I answered this on Saturday.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna answer it again. So shut the fuck up and do it.
what do you mean by design, though?
So,
Talking about style?
so he didn't elaborate. He elaborated a little bit on Saturday and said that is it okay to copy someone's style on a personal build and not a competition build?
Hey, Pabby.
Yeah.
Time out just 1 second. I'm so very sorry. This is a super chat alert. We've got Manny, Mr. McDio, Babyface. With the $50 super chat, he says, DMC, what inspires you most and why?
Ooh.
All right, let's go with that one now, and then we'll get back to Kyle. Sorry, Pabby.
What most?
Pabs, go. Yeah.
What inspires me most and why? Uh, God, I don't know. I mean, whatever I think is cool, right? Like, I mean, I follow a lot of Japanese and Korean builders, and my builds are kind of based off of that style, the Hasegawa style. So that inspires me, I guess. I mean, I'm a clean builder, so yeah, I guess that. I don't know, honestly.
Okay.
Okay.
Brian?
My builds are mostly driven from like an emotion or a feeling that I'm trying to like invoke with my builds, or kind of just like it's basically like a feeling or like a sense of presence. I guess it's kind of a weird way to, or an ethereal way to describe it, but that's what it is. Like I just started getting ideas for like, let's say my OMC build. And that was just because I was like happened to be swiping through some art online or whatever, and it just like got like nothing mecha even related. I was just looking at forms, like skeletal forms, and like it started like these little things started getting in my head, and I started to get this like emotion about the build, and that's when I really start to take a hold of it. And for me, like when I feel the emotion about the build, I guess. So that's what drives me.
Cool. What about you, sweet baby Jay?
I'm on par with Brian with like what motivates me and what I feel. Like when I do a haro, it's very dependent on how I feel. If I'm happy, I'll do something more vibrant. If I'm in a mood, it might be something a little funky. It depends really. There's so much variation to what motivates me to do what.
Okay. All right.
I can't really pinpoint.
All right.
Hey, can I add to my answer real quick?
Can you? Yeah, you can add your answer, Fabs.
Just want to add to my answer. Like a big secret of my builds, like a secret technique. My wife actually tells me, gives me a color scheme every now and then.
Yo, I just talked to my wife about my colors for the Sazu, or not the Sazu, but the Sinanju Neo's Young, and I'm totally doing something different.
You guys are cheating. You guys are cheating.
What am I cheating?
I don't have no money to ask.
Oh,
I can't say anything. I'm doing commissions right now.
No, I had color palette set out and was like, "What do you think?" And she was like, "You already paint that all the time." And I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool. I'll do something different." So that was literally all the advice that she gave.
It's so easy to get in that groove if you have like a color scheme that you like constantly, to just do variations of that. But like my wife would slam me across the face and tell me to pick something else. So
like no blue,
no purple. Stop with the purple. We're done with the purple.
We need reds in
here. Mine would stop painting things green and army colors.
Those are colors,
painting camouflage, are you? I was like, no. I didn't see camouflage builds.
All right, Cal. I've been trying to get you to answer the question twice, like 3 times here, but you're not even paying attention.
Well, listen, I'm like trying to multitask, but yeah. So I haven't what's it called? The
drive, the thing that drives you.
What inspires you most?
Yeah, you're motivated.
I have no inspiration.
Nothing.
No, I'm being
doing this.
That serious right now. I have all that shit over there.
Yeah.
And I have no inspiration to doing it. Nothing.
Why not? You
Back
just burned
then,
out?
Yeah.
So,
now,
we'll think about past builds.
I got too much shit on my plate.
What about past builds? Like what inspired those builds?
Yeah, what inspired your lupus or the Rex?
Yeah.
Oh, that was because I saw an idea from somewhere and I said, "Yeah, my man, I'm gonna take that." He said, "Like, yo, dude, don't do it." I ended up doing it.
He did it.
It was good.
What inspires you? That guy does.
Him.
You know, it's all about being American. It's all about being number one, son. You wanted to be in the moon first. You did it.
All righty then.
Weird.
But I'd say I get inspiration from the rest of the community. Like I'll see other builders and like I want to do that, or I want to attempt to do that, or I'll have an idea and that'll spark even more. So you got to write everything down. I don't do the Pinterest, I don't do the Twitter, but like definitely our own community. I get inspiration from you guys.
Fair enough.
You
Yeah.
liar.
I'm dead ass.
Yo, I saw you copying, son. You got like
Who?
a whole
Yo,
notebook
Who?
behind you, son. Behind you.
Who?
All that
Actually,
stack, that notebook behind you.
I
That
actually
notebook
saw.
behind you.
I
You know
saw
where
a
the lamp
builder.
is? You know where the lamp is behind? The other side. Yeah. Right down on the middle. That huge stack of photocopy paper.
You know what that is? You want to know what that is? It's comic books.
Wow.
That's a good spot for inspiration too, though, right?
Yeah, comic books. Hell yeah, I read comics all the time.
Yeah.
Definitely, like for posing and whatnot, color schemes. I have like everyone's sticker and a nice big poster with colorways here that inspire me. So, it's good stuff. I get inspiration from everything.
Mood
Everything
boards,
inspires me.
mood boards are a nice way to get inspired.
50 Shades of Tooch. Yes, please. I'm gonna write a book. You guys better buy it. It's gonna be dirty.
We're gonna buy that book. Yeah.
Buckets.
It's how to get catfished 101. Like, that's
Oh
what
my
50
God.
Shades of Tooch is about.
Catfishing.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna go to that topic. That was an 8-hour topic. I'm not gonna revisit anytime soon.
Poor Edward over here, man.
Tim's off the sweet tea.
He's dying right now,
The
man.
Diet Coke kind of night. I'm
Yeah,
drinking. I'm
I
drinking.
thought it was a Coke
I'm
Zero
with
kind
you,
of night,
Edward.
right?
Why not, right? Why not? Anyway, all right. So, I don't know what inspires me. Like, I'll think of a theme, right, and then I'll just kind of go from there. I'll go with it. Like I had a theme like with airdrop. That was originally just going to be like simple details, but then I'm like, how can I jazz this up? Then the parachutes came to mind, and then I just kind of rolled from there. So
Hey,
that's,
Tim,
that's
can
my
I
thing.
Can I ask something? What inspired the hummingbird?
Oh,
The
just
hummingbird.
I mean,
Man, that's been on
yeah.
development for 8 years before that.
Well, 4, but thanks for playing. Nah, the hummingbird was like straight up just a passion project. The hummingbird I've always wanted to build, like since way back in the day. And then when I got back into the hobby, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna build a Zeta Plus. And then I started building it, and I'm like, shit, I might as well just build a hummingbird. Screw it, right? How hard could it be?
Let me scratch build 100
40
Isaiah,
years later.
I guess it was pretty fucking hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. All right. Good deal. So again, Manny, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. All right, so back to Kyle's. Actually, you know what? Let's get rotated because we got Frankie and Armida in the background here. So
That's fine.
what's that, Jay?
If you want to swap me out for Tech, you're Frankie, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right.
If you want to put on,
Hey,
rotate me out too.
what a big orgy.
All right. I got you, Kel.
Blue seems to be a theme tonight.
And then here we go.
Oh, I wanted to talk about how pretty she looked in her dress.
She looked
I
great.
went blue.
I had to wear blue in the California shirt so everybody can shut the fuck up.
Frankie, California.
You're a big bear.
It's gonna be a warm night, so I decided to wear something warm. But
I decided to burn calories when I quit.
exactly, it's a little too warm right now. I gotta open the fucking window now. Look at some.
Yeah, I actually had to. Sorry, I had to turn a fan on in here today. That's how warm it is down here.
Oh, jelly. It's
Christ.
cool here.
It's getting
And it makes me
Yeah.
feel like there's
Freezing right now.
Yeah, you got snow and shit, right, Peps?
We had 2 inches.
Yep.
of snow.
My mom sent me some photos this
wild.
morning. I was like, oh, glad I'm not
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. No.
I don't like snow.
You'll get used to it. Look
I
where
love
you
snow.
live.
I've been here 10 years. I'm used to it. I just don't like it.
All right. So the question is it wrong to copy another builder's design for personal use?
I don't think so.
Why?
Because maybe you got inspired by the other builder or another person's, style, and you want to try it for yourself, try your own hand at it. That's kind of how I would assume most of us learned to do what we're doing now. We saw something, liked it, and wanted to try it for ourselves. It's definitely a learning experience, technique, opportunity. And if it's for your personal use, like, what's the deal with it? I've done it. I tried to copy the max technique for the spotting underneath for my Sandrock that I saw him do on his Valkyrie. Didn't work as well as I had hoped, but it was an opportunity to learn something, try something different.
All right, Frankie, what do you think?
Oh, yeah.
I think everything comes from something, right? So if I were to see somebody's build, I agree with Tex. If I were to see somebody's build or technique, I'm going to try it for myself, because everything comes from something, right? So you just kind of like try that technique, try it out for yourself, and maybe evolve from it. Somebody else's design can be a good foundation for yours, and you can create something new, or just use their design, borrow it. But if it's for learning purposes, I don't see why not. I highly doubt anybody can mimic 100% somebody's build and enter it into a competition. I think that alone is a skill. If I can copy like the airdrop or something like that, like to the T, and I think that's a skill right there, But I don't think anybody can copy it 100%. Everybody has their own style, so I don't see why it's a bad thing. I say go for it.
Okay.
You're learning from it.
Pabs, what do you think?
My mentality is if you can copy it or do it better than me, then more power to you. Like I'm always at the mindset of pushing somebody's pushing somebody's skills to the absolute limit. And if you see somebody's build and you go, I want to try what that guy is doing, and copies that, but then learns from it and develops it, then I'm more than happy to have people copy my build or whatever. So yeah, man, more power to. I mean, as long as it's not for like I said, a competition. If it's for personal use, then I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay, Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Honestly, it's like copying masters. If you're studying painting and you paint like Caravaggio or Renoir or whatever, you're doing it not because you're trying to be like, yo, I'm going to sell this Renoir copy. Obviously, it's plagiarism. You're doing it to hone your own skill and learn more about the medium and the process of the whole thing. So I don't see that as being an issue, but don't push.
Okay, Julio, what do you think?
Yo, that is the most humbling thing I can possibly think of. You want to do me? Go for it, bro.
Copy.
What?
Copy you.
Copy, not do you.
You know what I mean.
We know what you mean.
Chris brought up
That's the worst language ever. I picked the worst words. You would like to copy me as well. Go for it. It seems phenomenal.
Thou wants to mimic me? Julio uses words.
No, seriously, that is like what? That's it's fucking endearing. Like, holy shit! Did I really do that good? Thank you, I appreciate it. Would you like me to help you try to do this? Like, it's phenomenal. Yeah, I'll give you my pointers. This is great. Thank you, appreciate it.
Here's a sketchbook. Take it all. Use it.
This is how I did this.
It's that whole gatekeeping mentality, right? So,
Yeah.
like when somebody's asking you how you do something, like a technique or whatever, and you don't, there are some people who don't want to answer it because they think it's their technique. It's if you have something against somebody copying your style or what you're doing, I kind of feel like that's going towards that gatekeeping attitude. So I'm not really for that life. So.
I think if somebody had a problem with people copying their style or whatever, they wouldn't be on social media or posting their shit online in the first place.
Right.
The minute you do that, it's open source. That's it. Like, can't really stop it.
True that.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. Cool. All right. Real quick, we got Manny behind the green room here. So, Pabby, we're gonna rotate you out for just a few seconds here. We're gonna get Manny in here, and I know Jay.
The man's on the prowl.
Jay has something to show us, so we'll get her in here in just a few seconds. But I wanted to bring Manny in because it looks like he's walking around the dangerous streets.
The streets, boy.
He's underground right now. He mole people.
He's mole people. Nice.
I'm at a CrossFit Park right now.
Oh yeah, he's upside
back.
Man, wear your gloves. Put your gloves on.
Put your mask on. Where's your hazmat suit?
My mask is broke, actually. Why do I put it on?
Rip.
Tie it around.
That's
Is there anybody there?
No, nobody around me. Look, see, by myself.
Yeah, you're fine. You don't got to worry about
Yeah.
it.
Jump the tracks.
Kickflip over the tracks.
That's a good like 20, 30 feet.
I'll tell you right now, if you need any ideas for like weathering, look at the New York City Transit, man. There's so much stuff around.
It's falling
So much
apart.
garbage. So much rat shit.
So yeah, the question about being inspired.
Yeah, man.
A lot of things inspire me, especially like good people, good conversation. I like watching other people's builds, see what I can do, because I don't see the build as what it is. I can see what I can do with it. So that's why I always do that. As to why, because I like to put my own spin on everything.
Word up.
Okay, I'm done. Talk to you later, guys.
Nice.
All right.
Oh man. All right, be safe, bud.
Go later, brother.
Take it easy, man.
Be easy, bud.
All right, brother. Thank you again.
No problem.
Damn. That dude holding it down.
We gotta send Manny masks.
What's up?
We gotta
You
send
gotta
Manny
put 'em
some masks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Word.
right.
Get him some crazy shit. Look like Scorpion. Sub
You
Zero.
want a red bottom mask?
You want to give it up?
There you go with them words again.
Fuck! Come on.
Phrasing.
I wasn't even thinking that. I gotta reevaluate my whole lexicon.
Oh
Get
my
rid of
god, it's a chicken.
That's a chicken.
Is that Julio?
You like little Julio?
That's a whole
Oh,
chicken sandwich right there.
I see it. What's up?
That is a $5 footlong, ma'am.
That's a Popeye's chicken sandwich right there. What are
I'm
you
gonna need
talking
extra
about?
meat on that.
Spicy.
That's awesome. I like her coloring.
I know. Little taxi turning out to be a beauty. I think I'm gonna enter into one of the chicken comps we have.
There's
here.
a chicken.
Okay, so
What?
they're farmers. Okay, so they're farmers. We can watch. I gotta fix.
Everyone's head explodes.
So we're
You guys ever heard of 4-H?
when it farm season and harvest season, when it hits fall, there's generally a lot of like fairs and stuff. Like farmers fairs, like agricultural fairs in New Hampshire at least. And you can enter like prize cattle, prize chickens, bunnies, rabbits, all that sort of farm stock and horsing
Just
stuff.
like Charlotte Webb.
Yeah, and then they get a ribbon. So this is little Julio right here.
Yeah. Little huge. Yeah, get rowdy. Get rowdy.
Goddamn troublemaker.
And if you want to put me on the small screen, I can go and get a little text for you to show you.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
That's just.
Hell.
That's
Oh,
gonna be-
hey, oh. I zapped her out by accident. I pressed the wrong button. But hey, real quick, I just noticed Strider Prime with a $2 super chat. Here's my support for copying.
I'm gonna do it just like that.
Right?
Just like that.
Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate that, buddy. Oh man. All right, so let's see.
Here you go.
What is this? Is this Clucky B or whatever?
What?
Oh, there goes the art.
There's a little text.
With the little text.
Is that a pigeon?
Oh,
That's a pigeon.
she's
It's a vulture. What are you talking about?
She's
Oh.
very pretty. She's very
Who-
small.
Who is this?
This is little text.
Yep.
Ah,
And she's the cutest of the chickens.
alrighty then.
But her
kidding.
feathering and her colors are really nice. And she had her crest coming in.
Yo, make it big. Make it big.
Oh, god damn it. wrong button. I can't-
This is your first time here?
Yeah, I don't know these controls.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Her feathers.
Yeah. Real pristine. No mess like Julio.
But yeah, no, I'm thinking about once I get her vaccines done, to enter in some comps because she had like very nice if you
You
look
got
at
nice hands.
nice hands, feathers and stuff. She hasn't had a lot of baby feather wash, so she's still very downy and very soft. She's a very pretty bird.
Yo, how much longer till they're fully grown?
Let's do it.
They're a month old now.
Nice.
So about another month and a half. I'm in the middle of building their big coop outside. It keeps on snowing here.
Yo, there's one on the edge right there. Like,
Yeah.
What dang it, Chirpy?
That's Chirpy B. There it
can
is.
that be me? Can that be me? Can that be me?
That's B.
Who's the one in the back that's always driving somebody crazy? That's who that is.
Why do we have such problems with animals on this show? First it's cats, now it's chickens.
We
Where
are
can I get my dogs?
So Kyle, if you're wondering, this is now Steve.
Steve.
They're very awkward looking chickens right now. They're going through their teen stage.
Who's this?
This is Steve.
Can you rename him after me? Because I love this one.
No.
He was legit about to jump off a cliff. Like, that's me when I used to jump off bridges in Miami.
But they're gonna be all black, and they're gonna have a big like black mohawk.
Hey.
Golf chickens.
God, chickens.
Nice.
Dope.
Very nice.
I was in the middle of building their coop yesterday, and like a piece of wood came flying back. And kids, wear your proper PPE when you're working in construction craft. And like right here, I got hit. Like you can tell, there's a little cut right here and right here, and it just kind of goes.
Yo, that's your John Connor scar.
Right.
Future. Look like
Pat mark
Skeksis.
that goes in the eye.
Skeksis. They do. Oh, those are bird people.
I'm sorry.
I don't think John Lynn would probably get that reference, I'll be honest with you.
You know what a
I
Skeksis
don't get that reference.
What?
Frankie.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
It sounds
Should have kept my
familiar.
mouth shut.
I should say, Mickey. Sorry.
It sounds familiar.
Guess who has homework?
But I'm sorry you didn't get to see me in the direct text. One of the chickens had an accident.
How
Oh.
dare they?
I saw the shoulders, and it looked very cute. For like spits.
It was. It was.
Trying to
You look
ruin your day.
My oh my.
But
Anyway.
welcome to
All right.
chickenism.
Hey. All right, let's get to question answering. All right, let's go. All right, so this one's from Kyle because he had a bunch of them. He says, "What's your take?" And this is kind of a two-parter here. What's your take on branding yourself in this hobby? And do you feel too many new builders focus on branding themselves first before building their skills?
This sounds like an old question. I'm not gonna lie.
It's probably a discussion we've had before, but
Yeah, it's definitely a discussion.
I think when we talked about clout chasers, probably we went over this.
I
but
think so.
anyway,
I think so.
it's a different take. What about branding yourself? What do you think?
I don't like
We'll go
getting
for it.
burned.
We'll go for it.
I think I definitely did it too early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why so?
I don't know. It kind of seemed more like a
Like a prerequisite.
No, not like a prerequisite. Like something to do besides the building, and then it became very much about the building and not so much about the building of the brand. And with a lot of the brand building came like the different sponsorships and stuff. And, and then when I'm trying to create content, I'm like, well, what the fuck am I going to create? What do I have to offer or show that people don't already know? I want to talk about priming something? Congratulations. Like, no one's ever done that before. Put paint on a spoon? Congratulations. No one's ever done that before. Like, I just wasn't as happy trying to sell myself or the product as I was sharing what I was working on and how I was getting there and discovering new things, or the actual process and the art of the building instead of the art of getting the likes and the followers or whatever.
If I could add on to that, or just not like a counter, but you never know who's listening to you. You know what I mean? So it's like, for example, because this is actually perfect. Last night, like at 4:00 in the morning, I had somebody message me about how to paint. And I'm like, well, this is what I do. Right? And he's like, oh, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Like, I appreciate the words, wisdoms, or whatever, right? And I'm like, well, I thought that same thing. I'm like, who the fuck hasn't done this before, right? Why is he coming to me? And it's like one of those situations where the person can have so many outlets, like so many builders. Because I searched who this person follows, and he follows a good amount of people who do a lot more work better than I do. And I'm like, well, why the fuck did he come to me? Maybe he feels comfortable with me. You know what I mean? You might have a lot of people that are comfortable with you and like you and your work. You know what I mean?
Approachability is definitely a huge part of it. Yes.
Yeah. So never know. So,
hey, Frankie.
What's up?
Manny just did another just a $2 super chat, but he says, Frankie don't know the Dark Crystal negative sub.
You're done. You finished here.
I just watched that. I couldn't remember that.
The show or the movie?
The show.
Both.
Oh, okay.
And then I watched Jim Henson. I went on the Jim Henson website, and they have some cool stuff about the Dark Crystal. I have a book on the way for the art.
Okay.
Very good.
I already know I'm uncultured, so I'll
cheers
just keep
for
my
the
mouth
catch
shut.
up.
Get a little Brian Proud in your life. That's good for you.
But
Anyway.
as for the branding, I'm
Yeah,
kind of glad I did it a little earlier.
Okay.
Because in the long run, for what I've been doing, it's actually been very helpful. So different strokes for different folks, basically. You know,
Okay.
you gotta just honestly do what you're comfortable with. I mean, I don't really have a problem with people branding themselves a little early, but then there's some where they try and do it, and you're just like the cloud chasing, where it really falls into, compared to the people who like want to build a brand and maybe they want to open up a store, and maybe that branding will help them do it later on down the road. Who knows?
Fair. That's fair. Julio, what do you think, man?
For Kyle's question, if you brand yourself as something that you're like really gonna go hard and be big in this community, and you have this much skill, I don't feel that you should try to be branding yourself as much as learning more than you could be. Like you start your Instagram and you're like, all right, I'm gonna share all my work, and then like more people follow you. It's not to get your head big about it, but more of, I don't know, like these are people who enjoy your work instead of you being like, I'm gonna sell myself. I think anyway.
Okay. Brian, what do you say?
Well, in regard to branding,
Okay.
well, yeah, I know that just happened. I didn't have it. That's a fun thing about branding and things like loose brands, like Dakota Kid, and what I'm slowly becoming. That's just kind of like the natural progression of things. So my handle, Bro Builder, right, is just because what I was making art under before when I was doing props and everything was Brian Dencloud Creations, which is a fucking mouthful. It's like a fucking handful of spaghetti shoved in your face every time you try and
meatballs.
Nobody wants that. So, Bro Builder is a take on what I've been when I started skateboarding and I went up to California, did this competition, came back, and everything I said was bro. And so bro, right? So they started calling me Bro Bra as a joke, and then it became Bro Bra Bree and all this crazy shit with my metal shop, and then the skate team that I skated for, and then all my friends and everybody just know me as Bro or Bro Bra. So Bro Builder was like, I'm bro, and I build Bro Builder, which is natural creation for me to take that as my way to kind of like separate myself from what I was doing before a little bit and kind of like stand out in my own way in the crowd, as to like be, I don't know, somewhat noticeable, I guess, but not really like I'm not trying to push a brand, as you guys know. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of a dumb answer, maybe. I don't know.
I think it's fun.
At what point does it start becoming a brand and no longer your alias?
Oh yeah, I suppose, yeah, because like my
The
builder
child of Mecca.
Yeah. Oops. Well, you know, but I mean, that's not a
Who's to say they aren't one and the same, though?
True.
Do you feel more brand in person?
No.
That works.
No. I mean, because I represent my brand and my brand represents me.
Ooh, like that.
That's good. Yeah. But you have the skill to say shit like that. You got dudes with 11 snap builds under their belt, like, let's get it. Follow me, like, subscribe.
I mean, I think this it does kind of go back to the cloud chaser thing, but if you're, in my opinion, it's never too early to brand. It's just not. The reason being is because if you want to become something in this hobby or anything for that matter, a brand will help you do that. You don't see a company evolve and get successful unless they have a brand, right? Unless they have a logo, unless they have, you know, a corporate tagline, and unless they have, you know, the whole brand identity. Yeah.
Work-related memes.
Yeah. You know, color schemes, the whole 9 yards, everything, right? You don't see a company become successful without that. In fact, you see little companies, tiny companies that have that, that you perceive to be much, much bigger, right? So that's why I say I personally don't think it's ever too early to start branding yourself, but it's the execution that makes the difference.
Do you think it has something to do with presence, like having a big presence?
I mean, that's what branding is to help make your, you know, make your brand look bigger, right?
Yeah.
You know? So I mean, that's what's that?
Look bigger for what? Like, what do you want of it at the end? If this is what it's becoming.
Well, I mean, if you're branding, you obviously want to be known out there,
have a farther reach, bigger network.
Yeah.
Retain
a
larger
for
audience.
the sake of networking and having a bigger audience. Like, is there an end goal? I mean, for you, obviously, this is not your full-time job, but for people that are just starting,
I guess that would be up to them. I guess that would be up to them to figure out. No,
I didn't hear either one of you.
Yeah, you were talking over each other.
What did you say?
I just got sidetracked. I want to know what the original question was again. Like,
if you're trying to brand yourself without the skills.
Okay.
Yeah, about branding. Yeah. No, I mean, I honestly think that's going to be different for every single person. It's going to be a completely individual thing.
Yeah.
Me right now, this is my career at this point. I have no choice. Before I lost my job, I kind of wanted to make this my thing, and be able to quit my job. So it was kind of the same, but not with the same urgency. Before that, I was just having fun, you know, just trying to impart my knowledge onto whoever would want to listen at that point. So I mean, it's all individualistic, you know. My intent is different from Jay's. It's different from Julio's. It's different from Frankie. It's different from Armida. It's different from Brian. It's different from Z. It's different from Pabs, and it's different from. So.
See, I was gonna say that because like I'm branding because this store is gonna help me like pay for college and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's gonna help me, you know, get an apartment. I just bought groceries with the money I got from the store.
There you go.
Using your heart for that.
Go to your mouth with it. Good job, girl.
With the farm might not being open and being able to find jobs around here is hard enough.
Yeah.
This should become an way of employment. I'm trying to make that dough. So I'm gonna brand.
Grab that bag.
You're trying to make that bang, bro.
Yo, you're seriously you're gonna make a living off of light and color, like fucking get it.
I got 6 mouths to feed. My animals I own.
I'm gonna send you a bag of candy corn.
I got 6 mouths to feed too. They're one in down the road, down, you know, one here, one day.
Just got a pack of chicken nuggets. I thought you had a whole dozen. My bad.
But you know, I like I said, I think everybody's different. Some people just want to be popular, you know, and honestly, some people just want to be known. That's their end game. Honestly, hey, whatever floats your boat. I'm not gonna hate on that.
I originally came into this. What are you doing? I didn't see.
Oh God,
No. Sorry.
Yeah, come on.
Uh-oh, here we go.
He's talking to his wife, right? Like not a couple.
No, he's talking to the dog.
Oh
no, it is! Oh shit!
Oh my God, Tim.
Why was she on the floor?
She's
That's
getting,
why I
this
had
is
to
her
make sure it
dresser,
wasn't one of the
and she's
cats.
getting pajamas out of the bottom.
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
okay.
Why
My
was she
bad.
on the floor? Because that's where she stays.
Only Brian gets the bag.
Go get me the beer, please.
Hey, while you're down there,
She put up my shit. Gimme. Oh.
Oh, look at that.
Fantastic. Yo, goals. Hashtag goals, bro. What?
Nice.
I like that.
Yo,
Nice.
I started this trying to share with more people who do stuff like I do, and it grows and grows from that. Especially if you're charismatic.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, I don't really think it's about
Right, Frankie?
skill, it's how well you sell
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh, sorry,
It was
Jay.
so weird.
Say it
It was
again.
so weird turning
I
this
said at
into
some
nothing.
point in the hobby, I don't think it's about skill in your build. It's just how well you sell yourself.
I'm not selling myself very well if I haven't got a liquor sponsorship yet, but okay.
We hardcore.
Working on that White Claw sponsorship.
I don't need it. That's the damn thing. I'm wasting my time. Jokes aside, though, right? She's right.
Yeah.
I think she's right.
Well, I
don't-
know I'm right.
Yeah. I mean,
What was
and
that confidence, Jay?
everyone can have differing skill levels and everybody can do their own thing. I mean, as long as you're unique and you have the right attitude and you're, putting yourself out there genuinely, what's wrong with a little branding? I don't see a thing wrong with it, to be honest with you.
Yo, buy Mecha
That's just me.
decals.
Oh yeah, buy Mecha decals, bitches.
Got it when you said it. It's
I have
genuine.
an art store. I sell Haros. Please
Yeah.
further my education. I'm working on my
Right?
Support
bachelor's.
local
Yeah.
artists.
She's got college and stuff to pay for.
Help me
I have
pay
to
for
live.
my-
Full-time single parent,
Help me pay for my master's.
Jesus. Okay. Anyway, moving on, shall we? And here, let's get a couple rotations in here. Let's get Pabs back in here. Z's in the back. Brian and Julio, real quick. We're gonna rotate you out. We're gonna get Pabs and Z in here. So hang tight. There's Z. Is Z sideways to everybody or just me?
Just you.
Just you.
I feel like
Just
Z
me?
Black
Yeah,
Ain't that a bitch?
I love this game.
Yeah, he's good. He's good on YouTube. All right, cool, excellent. All right, so Z, welcome.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm
all right.
alright.
So next question here. This is from Trav City. What is your method to balancing hobbies and obligations, especially with relationships and family?
I'm out.
Ooh.
I'm out. I'm out. Deuces.
Telling you I don't have a relationship.
So
I got a hobby time.
So I guess.
Great question,
yeah.
Trav.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It
Is
is a
this
great
like
question.
single? Is this like singleness 2.0? Like
We
what's
don't
going
talk about singleness.
No, because then we'd have to remember the first one.
Shut up.
21, like long walks in the cornfield.
Anyway,
have to
Z,
look
go
at-
ahead, man.
You have to look at it like this, right? And I think this is the one thing a lot of us forget. This is a hobby. The hobby part of this, that word, like it's something that we were supposed to be doing, are supposed to be doing to relax, unwind when we have the extra time in our life to enjoy the things that take us away from responsibility, right? And if you can kind of get back to that thinking, you can start to separate it from, you can start balancing everyday life, family, and the hobby.
Fair. Pabs, you're smiling. What do you think?
No, I'm thinking. Z, are you like streaming in your toilet or?
Right?
I think he's outside.
I am hiding it literally, yeah, right in the first half of the bathroom because I have a mess right outside that I've been working on the whole day, cleaning up everything. So
Z's pooping.
Be
Yeah,
right there.
it looks like
Taking a
you're
dump
doing your
I'm
business.
sitting on a stool. I'm sitting on a
Don't
stool.
point. Yeah, you are sitting on a stool.
Yeah. Not
He's
that.
smoking in the bathroom. He's like, I need to escape, but also you should balance your hobby and relationships and obligations.
It's all about balance.
You're gonna
Exactly.
kill two birds with one stone.
Wow.
Yeah, not on that stool, but definitely it's
All right. So for me, so what, I guess three out of the six people in live right now can relate. I mean, I'm married. I have a full-time job, and I do this, and I do the whole branding side of it too. You have to. So I think you have to appreciate that the other stuff more than you do the hobby. For me, my wife is my everything, and like if she wasn't so supportive and understanding, then I wouldn't be able to do this hobby. Period. Because I mean, whenever I'm doing like live streaming or building, whatever, she's the one taking care of the dogs, or she's getting dinner ready, or doing stuff around the house. So yeah, I think you to balance it out, I also have to dedicate time with them and dedicate more of me than I do this hobby, because as Z says, this, I mean, that is a key word to this whole thing, is a hobby. You should be enjoying it. You should be doing this to unwind, and not to, apart from Tim's situation, it shouldn't be a full-time job. Yeah, that's that. I mean,
Fair.
at least for me, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Anybody else want to take a swing, or we want to move on?
I'll be last on this one.
Well, as someone who's not currently in a relationship, except with Gunpla, having been in a relationship, my last relationship that I was in, I put a lot of myself into it and gave up a lot of my own personal time and energy. And when that was done, kind of had to relearn that and became very selfish with my time. And finding the balance between, and now I'm at a point where I feel like I have a decent balance of, working on the hobby and still now being able to be out and be, as if not more social than I was in a relationship, and being able to, hang out, see my family more. So, SO standpoint, there are still compromises that have to be made that you have to learn.
It's all about compromise.
I think it's also important to note, health-wise, like mental health-wise, it's not selfish to have me time, and sometimes you just need to take that time away from your family or relationships just to get into your hobby. If not, then it's like getting, you're grouchy with each other and you're snappy with each other, and words start going, divorces start happening, and it's all downstream from there. So take your time. It's not selfish. I don't think it's selfish to take time for your hobby. I mean,
it's healthy. It's healthy to have space away from each other, to do things apart from each other. Absolutely, you can't just be attached to the hip every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, because that's going to drive everybody insane.
Yes.
He says during the time of quarantine.
Yeah, tell me about.
Worst timing.
I love you.
This is the weirdest coping season ever, man.
Yeah. So it's fine. It's fine to have time away from each other, and it's I mean, for anybody who isn't married and is in a relationship, like I think it's a little bit different, right? Because a relationship isn't exactly a marriage, so it's you kind of handle it differently, like in terms of what in relation to what Tex was saying. So I don't know. It's been a while since I was in that kind of relationship. So, I don't know.
It's a different ballgame.
Yeah, definitely.
Frankie,
what, Dad?
Go.
They've been working on that all night.
Can I get the question again? I just want to make sure what I'm thinking is.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be about a relationship or a marriage, right? It's just your life outside of the hobby.
Yeah. So Trav wants to know, what is your method of balancing hobbies and obligations, especially relationships and family?
I think let's throw friendships in there too, because I feel like friendships does have to play a big part, because at the end of the day, a relationship is just the current connection status you have towards another person, right? Because you can also have a very strong friendship that can take time away from you or something, right? But I think a good balance is having communication with your friends, family, and significant others. Person who's somewhat have had a lot of issues with my hobby versus relationships. It's always a matter of time, spending time together, and all of that. And yeah, I just think time management. Just find the time, and it's all. Yeah, just I'm gonna leave it at time management. I don't want to get too deep into that. Yeah,
that's a whole other problem right there.
That's a whole other mechanism right there. And I could take up 3 hours talking about that.
That's a whole mechanism.
Yeah, that's a whole fucking week.
Thanks, Frankie.
That's at least a flea and a half a mechanism.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, good stuff. All right, so with that being said, we're gonna move on to the next one, but let's rotate some in and some out here. So let's get let's see.
Get me out. I guess.
He's done. He's done pooping. So he's
one and done.
That's it.
Yeah, okay.
Cut out the head.
Or do you have to wipe?
I'll get out of here.
You have to wipe, don't you? All right.
Don't waste too much of that toilet paper.
I love Z.
Anyway, all right. So we got that done. Let's see. We got Manny back in the background. Looks like he's on the train. So and also Julio's back there. So Frankie Armida, we're gonna drop you guys out here real quick, and Big Chooch and Manny. There we go.
Yo, real quick. I had a relationship ruined because I was modeling too much.
Really?
You playing with toys?
I was putting more time into modeling than I was, I guess, into the relationship. So it went away.
You were playing with your dolls?
Yeah. Not even, it's like I was working, 50, 60-hour weeks, and that was really creatively draining most of the time.
Yeah.
So I found modeling, and it was like a whole breath of fresh air, and I started doing it, I spent a lot of time doing it.
Yeah, that's balance. The other way.
Doing it well.
Some people think it's lame, you know? Doing it well.
Got it.
Oh, I'm glad people got that reference. Anyway, good stuff. All right, so let's see here. So, okay, we've gone off the deep end with some super DMC, right? Let's get an easy one here. This one's from Commissar Stanley. He wants to know, how should I do weathering or chipping on dark colors such as black and gray or red and green?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy. You should have rotated me out.
Oh, hey, real quick.
About that guy.
Time out 1 second. Fudabayoe over there in the YouTube, he just did a $10 super chat. He says, buy Tim's decals of Mecca.
They're good.
They're good. They're great. Yeah. I mean, some people might think that we're just saying it because we're Tim's friend, I guess. But no, they're actually.
We are Tim's friend, but no, they are.
Yeah.
Supporting
they are good.
Yeah. Supporting from.
Yeah, I mean they are. I'm not gonna sit here and toot my own horn, but they are the best fucking decals on the face of the planet. So anyway, how do you guys do weathering? Let's go chipping and stuff like that on dark colors.
So when I'm doing my tanks, say if I'm like doing the black camo and stuff, I'll do the base coat, and then I'll do like a metallic color to make it look like it's scraping and stuff. I haven't weathered actual kit yet, so tanks.
Manny,
let me tell
Manny
you how
got the L going.
What I'm going to say in regards to this sort of situation is you need to choose a color for your base material that is first and foremost going to be realistic, and secondarily is going to be at somewhat contrast to the color that you're top coating. So if you're rolling with like a green or a red, you're going to want definitely a darker brown of some sort like that. You can get away with a lighter color like a gray or an off tone if you're doing like a lighter color like a white or a yellow or something like that. Now I do all of my chipping with hairspray for the most part. Like I will hand paint some stuff, but I do all of it as reductive. It's a method where you spray down a base layer of color, you layer like a hairspray or a chipping fluid, like this stuff. Sold by Ammo. You can get this stuff too. There's lots of ways to do it. Look online. I just do hairspray. Some people do hairspray and then they add like salt to it because it's easier to wash away. I like the other way to do it. Just preference, that's all it is. And then I layer my colors on top of that. Every time I want a layer of chip between that, I add a layer of hairspray. So I've done like 4 or 5 layers deep and then worn it all down through it. If you look at my pictures of the Angel of Death, I did that exactly same thing on there, and you can see multiple layers of chipping all the way down to the base layer, which is like a dirty brown black color. So
yeah, that's what I use for my tanks and stuff to get like the chipping and like any sorts of like weathering, just the hairspray.
Yeah, so you say you didn't weather kits, you weathered your tanks, dude. What are you talking about?
I don't weather Gundam, I weather my
I
tank.
don't really weather anything. Here's a tank.
But like the hairspray, and it's really nice, especially when you get like, for those of you who don't know hairspray very well, they come in like strength layers. If you get one on like the lower level, I find it better to work with.
Yep.
Than like something on the spray your hair so it stays up for 49 hours in a row. Here's just the tricks.
There you go, the Tresemme.
That's what I use.
Tresemme, what you really want is the ultra fine mist. You can see it there. It's not really focusing because that's just the way this camera's working today. But yeah, you can see it. Ultra fine mist, there it is. And then medium to low adherence. So if all those little dots down there are filled up, if it says like 5, then that shit's going to grab too hard. You're never going to get your chips. You want something that's going to be super fine mist, because what you want is tiny little particles of hairspray, droplets almost, that you can like re-wet underneath the paint to release it and get it to chip away. So
nice. Real quick, you guys, another super chat alert. Greg Blair with a $5 super chat. Just because, love me some DMC. Greg, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Everybody loves the DMC. Look at you.
It's been great. It's been great for productivity on my end, at least.
Are you sculpting a chicken?
No, it is not chicken. Brian, I got my monster coin.
Did you ever find any wire, dude?
No, I looked. I have like super thick wire, and I don't have enough aluminum foil to do a bottom insert.
Okay.
And now I've just been doing little demon dudes.
You're gonna see a 2340.
I like Frankie's idea.
DMC chisels.
DMC chisels, yeah, I like it. Anyway, here, just real quick, you guys, kind of playing off Commissar Stanley's question. What do you guys think about using the color black, like black, on scale models?
No.
What was
no.
that?
Big no. So big bodies of black, or using black in general, is a big no for me, just because it absorbs so much detail. So your details just drown out no matter what you do, and you can't like weathering with a lighter shade on a black just looks wrong. Go for like a dark gray, or just a different shade of gray, and I think that looks a lot better. Gives it a more interesting feel. And there's no pure black anyway. Like it's just don't do it, man.
Wait, are we saying chipping on top of black or chipping with black?
As a base coat, a normal paint base coat, Jay.
See, no, I'm gonna have to go with a hard no on that one too.
I almost regularly will paint my models black before I paint them colored.
Well, no, I meant as a paint color, like that shows in the final product.
Final product, no.
Yeah. Not base, but like
yeah. No, that's what I say. I use it as like shadow, as like dark tone. But
that's fine. Yeah. Like it gives your colors like it gives your colors like a deeper tone, right? Like if you underlay a black on top of a red, the red will be a deeper tone of red.
Yeah, because I did shadows and highlighting for this one, and you can tell like I did shadows on like the recesses and stuff. And it deepens the color without having to actually like go in with the darker like green and stuff.
Yeah.
Or the lighter green. Yeah.
I saw someone who recently did a bulk Gundam that had a lot of black panels and like black parts to it. It looked really good. It was like a real nice black matte with blues and whites and gold. Yeah, like it really looked nice.
See, my problem with the color black as a primary, secondary, whatever showing color, is that it's not realistic in terms of the scale, right? You ever seen a picture of the stealth bomber or the stealth fighter out in
black? Yeah.
It's never pure black in the sun.
Nah.
It's always dark shades of gray. So, like, imagine a 50-foot tall robot out in the sun. Is that going to be all black, or is it going to be shades of gray, just like the stealth bomber?
Wait a minute.
You know what I mean?
Myself, I have done kits in black.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Well, you're still learning, Jay. It's okay.
I mean, I use metallic black for like details.
Yeah, metallic black's a good one. Yeah, it's got depth to it.
Black, it's just gonna be panel lining. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I
I mean-
it's not exactly the same because I don't do normal things, but like this is mainly black.
Yeah, I mean that's more artistic though, Jay. I'm more talking about like for scale representations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't.
Manny with the
Yeah, no, I just finished this guy up today at work.
Big grades.
Nice.
I like that.
you were speaking my color right there.
Oh, with the purple, yeah.
Yeah, speaking my color right there, my friend.
It gives it a very good like Metal Gear Solid feel. But I gotta top coat it, and I gotta put some the second set of mecha decals on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
But I just gonna show that I use some of the metallic black. These are all the Gundam marker metallic.
Oh yeah.
Not bad.
Gotta smooth it out.
Yeah, it goes on a little thick.
Yeah,
You just gotta be gingerly with it.
yeah, gentle hand, right? Yeah.
Ginger, yeah.
And I'm
But,
heavy-handed for that part.
Nice. Speaking of mecha decals here real quick, I wanted to answer this for our boy Joey Ganoda over there on that's Twitter. He says, where can I buy the decals mentioned a bit ago? Dude, they're called Mecha Decals, USA Gundam Store.
Exclusively.
Not exclusively. You can
Not
get them
exclusively.
you can get them at other places too now. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They were on wholesale.
Wholesale.
You can get them in
Yeah,
Canada.
yeah. You can.
You can get them in Canada. What?
You can. Yeah.
Can
You can get them in Canada, right? So anyway,
buy
that answers.
Canadian money?
What's up?
Sorry, I'm just being dumb. Don't worry about it.
All right. Oh man. All right. So moving on from that. So hopefully that answers Stanley's question. Let's get some rotation in here, shall we? Let's see. Sweet baby J. Oh. Bye. We'll be back. Don't worry.
You'll.
And then let's see who else. Who do we bring in first?
You take me out.
Are you sure, Manny? All right, dude.
I'm in the
All right,
background.
brother.
I'm at work though, so you can hear all the announcements on top.
All right, brother. Well, stay safe. All right. All right, big boy. All right, let's get Frankie back in here. Well, look at
Frankie,
What up, fucking hobbit?
guys.
Oh, I do not
Giant
like.
hobbit.
I don't
dude
like
is
people.
too comfortable right now.
Hey, listen.
I don't like
Nobody
it.
warned me, so I'm just gonna be chilling like this.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Fine, fuck it.
Oh,
God. You
I
can
don't
see the
like it.
other mess. Look,
Put some drawers
Jesus.
on, man. Nobody wants to see that.
some I got basketball.
Don't do it.
shorts on. What are you
I thought he was
talking
about to show that he has drawers on. Don't do it.
about? That's wishful thinking, bro.
Oh,
Not
sure.
really.
I'm sure.
Look at him. Look at him. Look at him blush. Look at him blush.
I'm not blushing, man.
He's blushing.
No.
Anyway,
Manny says he's following Frankie on Insta,
what's that?
trying to get those feet pics.
$70 per toe. Thank you.
Good. Good.
What is
Give
this?
it away for free here.
Big
You just gave it away, yeah.
Yo, your shits don't even look nice, bro.
They don't look like Tic Tacs, right?
Nah, you need to paint them. Get some orange paint in there.
I'm gonna
They're
paint
like,
them.
they're like little baby toes.
They
What
look like
about-
John's chicken's feet.
Do you think this color will suit my nails? Yeah, I'm just a
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
Matches your
Ooh.
complexion.
Oh, the metallic. I'm gonna put a black base coat on it first, though.
Shiny.
That's what you gotta do. That's why I bought so much battery
Yeah.
paper.
Oh yeah.
All right. All right. So let's see. This next question comes from an anonymous.
Uh-oh.
This should be
They
interesting.
say, what life lesson have you learned through modeling, if any, that you apply to your work today?
Oh, that was one of my questions. I guess they
Don't
sent it to
save
you
your
too.
paint with gasoline.
Definitely not one of your questions.
Wasn't
You
it?
gotta
I'm pretty
explain
sure.
that, Brian. You gotta explain that, dude.
When I was a kid, we used to thin our testers' enamels with gasoline.
Oh, okay. Makes
Yep.
sense. Huh? Don't do that.
Yeah, it was terrible. Don't do it.
That's not good for modeling.
Bad for all parties involved.
For most
The
parties.
model, you,
Alrighty.
paint, brush, everything. The environment, it's bad.
So, all right. So let's get to answering this question.
It was the 80s.
Armida, you want to go first?
Hi.
Yeah, I mean, no one else has learned any life lessons. I guess I'll go first.
No, I don't want to say all that.
My big, not big thing, but a life lesson I learned was, wanting. Tim had talked about taking pride in your work and having, your work represent you or your brand represent you and yourself represent your brand. And rushing through things, procrastinating, those are traits that I didn't want to carry through my work or have it be known with my work or my builds, not to mention the stress that it puts on me. So my lesson was to manage time and patience and know when something is worth investing your time into and working out, going through, and when it's time to drop it. Like with
All right.
like
Yeah.
a work in progress or something.
Right. All right. Good stuff. Anybody else?
Yeah,
How deep
I'll
are,
go.
really quick? How deep are we thinking? No, I'll let him go. I'm just, how deep are we trying to get with this?
This is
I
deep,
mean,
bro.
as deep as you want to go.
Okay.
Meaningful conversation.
I'll
Did
be
you
last
not
then.
read the title?
Go knuckle deep. I don't care.
All right, I'll be last.
I've picked up a habit of trying to be. I've been more organized on stuff. Texas talked about me making lists. I do make a lot of lists, and that is I apply that to all facets of my life now. And it actually started with projects and just trying to make sure that I stay on task, and finishing my own shit helps me stay on task with the rest of my shit, I guess. Yeah. And then the economy collapses and you don't have a job.
Yeah. Hey. Welcome to the club, buddy. Welcome to the club.
So what Brian said, write everything down. Like, I've taken that with me. Write everything down and ask for help. Like, no matter what it is, even you got pride, you got pride, I'm gonna do this, but ask for help. Like, help helps. Seriously.
Yeah. Right?
Still working on that one personally. That's a hard one for me.
It's a real hard one.
Pride is hard to digest.
Man,
you know?
you know how to do this? Can you help me?
Yeah, the help part. I've tried at work, I've been trying to get better about it, but outside of that,
don't even look at me.
Catch me in here. Bye.
Frankie, what do you think, man?
I want to let Pabs go first.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. I think taking pride in my work. I definitely got that from Gunpla. I used to churn out stuff that wasn't Gunpla, and I never really took pride in it. And then I did all this, and now it's like I have to give everything 100%. And then also knowing my worth, like through Gunpla, I realized my worth, because I was very self-deprecating for a little while, and I didn't really feel like I contributed anything to anybody's day or time. And I think Gunpla helped me realize that, I'm a fucking shit, right? So
and you smell it.
No, it gives you, it gave me a really good sense of achievement and a slight amount of recognition, and it feels good. So I take that with me wherever whatever I do now. So it's not just Gunpla anymore.
Fair. Fair.
So Frankie.
All right. Frankie,
Cow was done.
you're up to the plate. Let's go. Knock it out.
Patience. Everything that everybody said, yes, 100% yes. But to me, it's more of patience. And I've had like a few life lessons that I've learned from building Gunpla on my own that's taught me patience. Unfortunately, back living in Florida, I don't want to sound really cliche saying this, but living in the fast lane, I guess. But you're always doing something. You're always like, no. Honestly.
Too fast, too crazy.
I said
a quarter mile at a time, right?
I live my life a quarter second at a time.
It's always something, isn't it?
Always dumb. Anyways,
eating tuna sandwiches, bad tuna sandwiches.
No. Because the thing is, it's like it's very easy to lose time and over there, especially if you're partying and shit like that, and you're always out and about with friends and whatever. Especially me being in the car scene and stuff like that, we were always moving. We're always on the move, and I never had I was very impatient. So I would always like, okay, fuck it, I'm doing this. Oh, we're going this way. We're going to this person's house to throw a party. We're going to the races. All right, we're out. And I never really thought about the consequences of just stopping for like 10 seconds and thinking, should I fucking do this? And when I started building Gunpla, it definitely taught me what's so fucking funny.
I'm going like this if you're saying it. Should I do this? Continue.
Fucking thank you.
Push your square.
It's gonna be a real deep, meaningful conversation after I shove my foot up Clip's ass.
You over here going to whorehouses and doing drugs and driving fast. I didn't tell you to do that. Nobody told you to do that.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that the Gunpla taught him how to.
Thank you.
Move past that.
So the thing is, from building and being patient and stuff like that, I started to slow down more often. I was like, oh shit, Frankie, you want to go to the races? And I'm here like building, like I remember building like a high grade. I was building a high grade Sinanju, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay home. You know what I mean? I'm gonna stay home, and I'm just gonna chill out. And I actually lost a friend that night in the races. Yeah. That's why I was like, it's nothing fucking funny. But that taught me patience, you know what I mean? And even though it was kind of like a hard lesson to learn, and I had to learn it that way, like in fear, but I learned patience. I learned to slow down. And then eventually I started to slow down with my building, and I started to take things bit by bit instead of trying to rush it. You know what I mean? Because beauty is a process and you can't rush it. So that's how I had to learn it. So patience, just to wrap this up before anybody else starts laughing.
Aww.
I didn't know it was gonna go that crazy. Yeah.
What the fuck? It's deep, meaningful conversation. What the fuck did you think was gonna happen?
Right. You said, I do this?
I fucking called it. I'm a fucking new type because I fucking called it. I told this shit coming from a mile away. You're over here old type ass like, hey, it's not gonna be serious.
Yo, if you can't laugh at somebody saying stupid shit.
What you mean?
You're like, should I do this? And no, you shouldn't have been doing that.
How many times have you had that thought in your life growing up? Like
didn't we have this conversation, Julio?
It kicks in after a while. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just eventually like, should I fucking do this instead of like going off excitement or hype?
Yeah, and we all know now that we shouldn't have done those things.
Yeah,
whatever, and that's the life lesson from it. Yes, some of us took a little longer, and yeah, when you say the story out loud, obviously you know how you should have, or how you would hope somebody would have responded, but it takes time for everybody differently. Mm-hmm. And it's just obviously a sensitive issue.
I know not to take out the trash at night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No,
all right.
Dangerous.
You live in a safe neighborhood, dude. It's literally the way you said it. Should I be doing this? And I'm going like this. It made me laugh. It made me laugh.
Fair enough.
It was the presentation.
Fair enough.
Yeah. You say stupid shit, I laugh. I'm sorry, you're funny.
Fair enough. I'm sorry for yelling. I apologize.
Shut up.
Is he like a clown? Is he here to make you laugh?
Yeah.
How the fuck is he
Ew,
funny?
Why are you an argument with yourself in the mirror right now?
How I'm a clown. How I'm a clown. How I'm a clown. How I'm a clown. How I'm a clown.
Yeah,
How I'm a clown.
Press it.
Francois, you're killing me.
So good.
You told me to
That one's for Edward Leonard in the audience.
There you go.
Birthday today. There
Happy
we go.
birthday.
Yeah. Jesus, what kind of life lesson have I learned? Especially just here recently, keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. You can never stop moving forward. Because honestly, it's like I was actually kind of thinking about this a little bit today. You got to be like a shark, man. A shark, if a shark stops, it dies.
Never sleeping like a shark, bro.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can never stop moving forward. I mean, I could have, when I lost my job through all this shit, I could have rolled over and just been like, well, fuck, what am I going to do? I'm going to sit on my ass and collect unemployment and watch fucking TV or whatever. But no, I decided against that. And I figured I'd just, I got to move forward. So here we are, right? But I mean, that goes with anything. Just keep moving forward, So that's what I learned.
Good lesson.
Nobody gives a shit.
Great.
Nobody cares.
Good lesson.
Nobody. After Frankie is like, nobody gives a shit. Whatever.
You gotta
It's like
be
trying
in that.
to follow B on Good Friday.
For real.
It's a waste of time.
All right. Somebody's trying to get into the green room here, and then Mikkel's back there, not even in his chair, hasn't been from the beginning, so he's kicked. All right. So whoever just tried to enter, try it again. If they're watching, I don't even know.
It might be Joel, actually. I know he was trying to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At a half hour left, yeah. It probably is.
It sounds like a Joel thing to do. So.
That's a completely Joel move, yeah.
He's trying.
Talking about staying on brand.
Yeah, there you go. All right, good stuff. Let's see. Yep. Yep, that was him. All right. Oh, Jesus, jumped up Christ. He is he is ready to go. All right, let's get rotating. Let's see, Pabs and Brian, I think. Yeah. All right. There too. And let's look at this guy, Deban Hymelius.
What's going on, guys?
What up?
This guy.
What's happening? Yeah, it's been a little while. When I'm not sleeping, I'm actually doing absolutely nothing.
There we go. And then look at this guy here.
Brother.
Yeah.
Plastic Man Savage Randy's here, brother. Oh yeah.
That's pretty good.
Woo! How's it going, boys?
Working out better than when Z tried to do it with the lights. All right.
Oh, you like my Cam Soda lighting?
I love your e-girl lights, yeah.
Yeah. Someone's gotta pay the rent, so
That's subtle. Damn.
Find me on all kinds of streaming sites.
Don't I know it?
Look up Joel's OnlyFans. It's very
Dude.
good.
I think that's a good market for Gunpla videos.
You think so, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Pornhub worked. Why not OnlyFans, right?
No comment.
Exclusive tutorials,
Put the link in my bio.
Link in my bio, gang. There you go.
Swipe up from my private Snapchat.
Yeah, dude. I got the fucking stein full of water that the homie Vaughn made here. It's actually it's got a Haro and then my bougie fucking logo on it.
All right.
And
That's dope.
Bitch is thirsty.
Thirsty.
Hey.
Water.
I ain't even talking about text. So DMC dog. We're talking about BMC trizzles.
Yeah, right. We are.
What's going
Actually,
on?
we got another question from Kyle here. All right, so let's get back into the mix here. Social media, is it helpful or harmful?
All right, I'll see you guys later. This has been Peace.
To quote my boy, Ejectocito.
Oh, that was the only good movie out of the end.
Hey,
oh, hey, Frankie. Nice to see you, bud.
Hey, Tokyo Drift was dope. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, no, that was dope.
Frankie.
You know how I know you're weebs?
And that's where it stopped. Because that turned into
Yeah, that's where it stopped. It was going down after 2, man.
But I will say, I was hyped.
I still love him though. I don't
He
give
came
a fuck.
in at the end of the trailer. That was pretty dope.
That was sick. That was sick.
Comes in just eating, and you're just like, all right, okay, I'll watch it. I haven't seen all the other G.I. Joe movies, but I'll watch this one.
That got me, yeah.
So which Kyle, by the way? Because Kyle does
Clueless
all,
Gunpla.
Okay, he does so many questions for the cutting mat.
He
we
really
won't even
does
ask
a
for
lot of
questions. He's like, talk about this. I was like, dude, we just got done recording. That's what we talked about. He's like, ha, fuck you. All right, cool, dude. You win. Is it harmful?
Helpful or harmful?
It's both.
All right, explain. Let's go.
Okay. Wow, loaded question. Welcome to the chopping mat, everybody. To my left, we have here nobody. So there we go. It's helpful, obviously, community reasons, meeting people, having that interaction with people that you normally not meet. Obviously, every fucking nerd in this room right now, I would have never met you guys without social media. Some of you have come down in trains to meetups. We've flown to California, blah, 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 strip clubs, whorehouses, the whole thing. But at the same time, that's one positive aspect of it. There's also the education side of it. Like with Tim, you wouldn't know how to do half the shit if you didn't have people like Tim doing tutorial videos and streams and all kinds of shit like that. Content is very needed, especially in a time like this, right? But there is also the we talked about this before on the podcast. The negative part of it is with the false sense of satisfaction of getting a bunch of likes on a thing that don't really mean anything. The fake endorphin rush that you get it. Brandon would now go into some weird Star Trek chemical theory about brains. But there's also the tunnel vision aspect of it that you hyper focus on so much things that's happening in this weird fucking niche community of goddamn nerds that you forget the real positives behind the hobby you're doing and the social media and the people that you know and all this other shit in there. So that's my weird Venn diagram of where things are fucking each other and different angles and all that. Put the rated R thing on here. I don't know. I'm here. I don't know why it's not on. But there's a good and there's a bad side to it. I mean, social media is not perfect. Go buy Mecha decals. There you go.
Wrong one.
No shit though. But like, that's a positive side of social media. Is like, dude, I couldn't run a business without it. We'd be fucked. We'd be selling T-shirts to dudes and like fucking crust punk. Yeah, on the streets. Like, come buy this weird black metal band shirt. No one would give a fuck. Same thing with no one would give a fuck about plastic model kits. They wouldn't have gotten to where they are. Bandai would not have gotten to where they are without social media. Point blank, period.
Yeah.
And a discussion would not fucking happen. But at the same time, they've had so many issues with social. We all remember GBWC with those weird rules that came out a couple of years ago. They wouldn't have problems too. But again, they wouldn't have the reach of GBWC if it wasn't for social media. So there's a lot of like weird ways to portray it. It's a loaded fucking question.
Yeah.
But please, someone else talk because I'm not doing this by myself.
Well, to your point, Joel, yes, talking about the GBWC rules and everything a couple years ago. So it's good. It's bad that all happened.
Yeah.
But it's also good because they heard the feedback and more like the blowback from that. And they changed course. They changed course and they completely flipped the switch. And you know what? From where I was being kind of one of the loudest, if not the loudest critic, going to basically now fully supporting their endeavors, honestly, because I think they're definitely on the right track and doing things the way, you know, that it should be at this point. So yeah, good and bad flipped it right around. So yeah.
Also, that whole experience, I fucking hated them, man. During that whole thing, I hated them. They had the audacity to call me during recording that whole fucking thing. I really did not like them. And then seeing how, because honestly, they could have not paid for that type of feedback. There's no marketing research. There's no get 10 randos in a fucking room and pay them to test your product research. That whole incident was $1 million valuation of just pure analytical information from their direct consumer market.
True.
And as while it kind of painted a little bit of a shit stain for that little brief period of time, it made the next 10 years just clean whitey tighties, you know, fucking perfect. Your mom put them out every goddamn, they're like warm for some weird reason. Like the whole
underwear warm.
Isn't it weird when I'm not on fucking the weed that all my brain thoughts and stuff that comes out, guys?
Brain thoughts.
But no, I had edible cake. It's great. It's like birthday cake. It's the worst thing ever because you just keep eating it and you're like, oh fuck no. Southern edibles, y'all. It's a different world. But they couldn't have paid for that. It was really this shitty fucking shit storm with shit hawks and shit buildings and shit cows that lended itself to be a very nice situation to where, like you said, I fully support them. Actually, we just signed up for a like legitimate Bandai distribution account because like now I've like shook myself off of, you know, okay, we're also not selling shirts we don't have rights to and all this other stuff, and I'm like good with it now because I'm seeing they're actually learning. Of course, you know, COVID-19 and shit's not fucking helping, but old blocking this bitch you know, but I do think for some people, social media is extremely harmful, and it's something that people don't like to admit because they see everyone on it. And it's something where personally, before I got into Gundam and shit, I actually, and I still do this day, I have an online therapist that specializes in people that like do social media stuff, that do online things, because normal, if you go to like a normal therapist and tell them like, yeah, I build robots on YouTube, or like I do this weird thing online, they're gonna be like, why? That sounds stupid. And you're like, okay, boomer. And then you're like, okay, I need a new therapist. And that's what happened, dude. Like I try to get one. I'm a super fucking depressed, you know, suicidal person and shit, but like that's why I play like black metal and all that, but they could not fucking help. And social media is a very big player in all types of like mental illness, health issues, and like it's not just, oh, so and so got sad because of the internet. So, but it's also like so and so lashed out at people because of the internet. So and so did this because of the internet. It is such a weird thing that even in niche little corners of the hobbies, you can see different degrees of like, fuck, that person needs to take a break, or like, fuck, I need to take a break. So like it can be very like, don't downplay the harmfulness of it, you know, to like, oh, people got upset, but like really think of all aspects of like that circle, that Venn diagram is fucking huge, dude. So that's something people should definitely think about.
Going along with branding, when you feel that you're a part of this thing that you're putting out there, it always feels like you're on stage and you're always putting on that performance. You always got to be that person. And that is strenuous. That is strenuous as hell. You got all these people looking at you. What? Otherwise, I think social's great because we're all here, we're all hanging out. Especially in a time like this, like we have each other. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that's like the word community has been so fucking dragged to the mud. It means so many different things. Like to me, it's like, especially during all this shit, it's the people that are setting up like food drives and shit and like doing all this crazy shit. To me, that's a community. But like also in the same, it's also hard to explain to, yeah, this group of like 50 fucking nerds that I hang out with, like that's my community. It means something different to fucking everyone, but like it is so dope that so many online and like also like relationships have begun because of like a common interest or hobby. But like you're saying, like people like being on stage, like dude, touring full time and playing, like being in a band and shit, dude. Once people have a certain image of you, it sticks for years because they saw you at that. Like for me, being in like hardcore and deathcore bands, everyone thought I was the fucking asshole that was like beating kids up and shit. And like even 5 years later, I was like, dude, no, what the fuck? Like I'm a normal fucking dude. I work an IT job. And they're like, no, dude, you're at home fucking just like, yeah, like hitting people. I'm like, no,
you weren't beating up kids?
Yeah, no. I mean, they'll comment, but you know, like it's that weird. You're not on a stage, but you're still in front of people, and that's why, like, I think when people start making a brand for themselves, it goes downhill. It automatically goes downhill, no matter. It could be a logo. It can be I made a special username for this project. It goes downhill before it goes up. Automatically. I bet everyone in this fucking room, the moment they did like a branding or anything, it just kind of went, and then they went, okay, fuck. Here's
Bro, I put a helmet on a little bag of something and people exploded. I was like, yeah, this is dope, really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I'm trying to brand myself though. I should be.
I still have so many fucking stickers.
But like, I don't know. I mean, the sticker shit's cool. I think like, I don't know, it's a cool way to people express themselves than other than just, you know, building a weird plastic model robot. Because like, there's only so many certain ways you can do that, you know.
Oh, when I was saying that, I meant my stickers, like mine. The ones that I get from friends go all on like my art books and everything, like my brainstorming books where I keep ideas, you know, get inspiration, kind of thing, of my friends, whatever. Mine, I'm sick of looking at. They're just in bags here on the shelf.
And there's hundreds of them.
I mean, at least my dogs are cute, but like, I don't. It's not what I want to do anymore.
Dude, Christopher Lee is. I'm sorry. One of the comments was great. And was talking about is Christopher Lee. You would not believe some of the stuff he did in his life, dude.
We're not talking about the actor again, are we? Because I never figured out that answer.
Oh my. Dude, Christopher Lee was a fucking badass, man, and not just because he was like, you know, Count Dooku or whatever, but like, did you guys know he was in a metal band?
I think I accidentally
I did not know that.
He was in 2. He has his own band. That's, I mean, it's what you expect. It's like Lord of the Rings power metal and shit, but it's fucking Christopher Lee fronting
Lord of
a
the
metal
Rings
band.
power metal.
Yeah, and also
Let that sink in, kids.
Look up Rhapsody of Fire. He did a whole song called Wizard's Dream where he's singing opera and shit with this Italian power metal band. But like, would you ever expect that from the dude that played Dracula? No, like it's crazy, man. Or whatever that thing text forgot.
I can see Christopher Lee just thrashing on the guitar. They're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Yeah!
Pretty much, that's what it was. He's just like, you know, they're the hobbits, and you're just like, yeah, Christopher Lee, don't die, please, not yet.
You're a traitor.
Fucking died and sucked, man.
Oh my god! Hey, just real quick, Charles Dodge, man. Charles is that guy, man. $10 super chat. He's got a question, and we're gonna answer it after this round here, Charles. We're gonna get to it. Don't you worry, none. Good
Frankie,
stuff.
what are your thoughts on this, dog?
You're
quiet.
Frankie, go.
I want
social media on the social media thing.
Social media, good or bad?
Both. Both. Joel took it. Both. Because, yeah, both of these nuts. Because
both of them.
Both
of them.
All of these nuts. Because yes, like the big reason why I came on social media is because I wanted to share my shit with people who were doing the same thing. Because a lot of my friends weren't into it, so I came here to look for people who were into it. But then at one point, I got sucked in it, and it got negative. You know, it was unhealthy, and then you know. Both. Yeah, I just can't. I can't. Yeah.
Yo, if you can, find yourself an enemy on Instagram and just roast them. Roast them as hard as you can. Whoa.
An enemy or like a nemesis?
Frenemy. I mean, that's part of the negative shit. I was in that shit. I was in that situation, and Yeah, big.
Don't do that.
Listen to Pops over here to the left. Don't do that shit. It's
Not worth it.
It's not worth it. It's not worth you worrying about this shit. And then the more you dig into it, the more you talk about it, the more you're like frustrating yourself. And
you're letting them take rent in your head.
Nah.
Not in this economy.
Not anymore. Not anymore. So if you're beefing,
ain't enough money in the world.
if you kids, if you're fucking beefing, if you're beefing with whoever the fuck and yada yada yada, don't do it. Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it.
No more internet beef.
But okay, so you talked about a negative. What about positive?
All of you fuckers. All of you fuckers.
Besides us, we don't count. We don't count.
No, that's everybody that I've met, everybody that I've interacted with, everybody that I've had a good conversation with, laughs, cries, just interaction.
There's definitely a lot more opportunities I've been presented with, hobby-wise, and things that I wouldn't have thought of by using social media within this hobby, like getting to work with Bluefin and give them direct feedback, or getting to do having the kids workshops be, my new passion and everything, and being a buyer for Bluefin for my local,
it's weird, right?
Life, and I'm here ordering kits and yelling at people once a week.
Yeah.
My call.
Once must be nice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they call me and ask to be yelled at. That's how it goes. It's great. I don't have to do anything.
I mean, but that's a great point, though. Honestly, that is a really, really great point about social media because, like, the benefits. Like, I've done shit because of social media that I never would have imagined I would have been able to do. Yeah, like, bro. It's crazy.
Bro, you went to fucking Dubai.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, what
I
the
had to go to Dubai. This fool went for free.
To Dubai.
Dubai. Bro, that's not even in Texas, bro. That's in a different other country.
I wasn't really gonna pull out an example and flex like that. But God,
no. Here's the thing.
Stop being humble for like 10 seconds.
Pull out examples always. Here's real shit. Here's real shit. I quit my job based off of that right there. Selling stupid fucking t-shirts.
Banners? Oh.
No. Here's the sole reason that, besides, like, I mean, long story short, I've been buying from the owner of Holy Mountain Prince since I was 14. I just didn't know it. But the sole reason he hired me is because he saw how I did my Instagram. It was like, fuck, your Instagram looks better than my company's one. Come work for me. We need help doing my new, fucking orc labor. Do that, and then we'll talk from there, dude. Now I'm running the fucking company. I'm the fucking head there. I went from folding shirts to fucking everything because social media and dope fucking people supporting the shit that I did.
Went from folding shirts to folding stacks. Boy, let them know.
Folding stacks, bro. Guap gang. I'm not fucking. I don't know how to subtract. I don't know how to divide. I only know how to fucking add. That's it, buddy.
His
it's
fractions.
Either debt or trying to pay off the debt. But like, Tim, you went to fucking Dubai, dude.
Dubai.
Yeah, going to California, that's cool. Yeah, we're gonna go to the USA Gunner thing. That's cool. You went to a literal country. Oh yeah, by the way, you went to fucking Japan, but that's hard work and dedication. But like, Dubai. Who goes to Dubai?
Only invited. Only people who are invited from Dubai.
Oh yeah. Dudes that fucking have like 10 fucking like GTR just like rotting in the fucking parking lot of the airport. Or I know you've seen that, Frankie. It's painful to watch all the rotting like exotic over there.
You also see it when you fly over. It's really depressing.
Yeah. But
you've never lived until you've seen a matte metallic blue Lambo in the flood of Dubai streets.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like,
I hate exotics and that stuff. That's heartbreaking.
Yo, it's bad. It was a bad sight. I'm telling
you. Covered in dust and sand and shit.
No, this was in a flood, Frankie.
Oh, in a flood. Oh, I didn't hear that.
Half of it. Sorry. Yeah, half of it being submerged in dirty street water.
So it was a submarine.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah. Oh, it was such a bad look. Yeah, F.
Like,
all the Fs. Yeah.
What Ranger Chris said, sorry, my headphones went weird. It's all about the type of like energy and time and effort you put into this shit. Like, you can have you can have a very positive time on social media with almost no negativity if you don't put in negativity. Dude, I am the most fucking negative piece of shit out there, bro. I fucking hate everyone. Fuck the world. It's all bullshit. Fuck the government. All this shit, dude. I grew up on death metal. I'm a product of fucking like people are like black metal and death metal is bad. I'm like, yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, it's bad. This is why. But it's also a lot of positive shit. But like I've put a lot of negative shit into this hobby and it's shown. It's shown back to me with the negative shit. I'm gonna and honestly, I'm not gonna keep putting negative shit, but like sometimes my imagery can be negative to someone else, and that's just a repercussion that I know how to handle now through trial and experience. But don't come off and like start off the bat with that, man, because like you're gonna have a bad time. You gotta go fucking French fries or whatever it was in South Park.
No pizza.
No pizza. All French fries. You're gonna have a bad time. But like I don't know why we've been watching South Park and it's terrible, but we just leave it on when we sleep.
29 seasons.
But like what Chris said, like it's all about what you like put into this shit. Like, dude, I fucking hated new type clothing. I thought it was stupid. I was like, this is a fucking wannabe hype beats bullshit. And I still think that. But I do respect what he's doing because I started looking at a positive. I'm like, we're two different fucking camps. And the shit and the work he puts into it is something where he doesn't have a lot of negative attention because he's not putting negative shit out there. He's not putting, I hate using the word fucking energy, but he's not putting negative energy out there. But the moment you do it, retaliation or whatever, I mean, you can't be a pacifism. You got to fucking put your guard up. I know Tim and everyone here fucking has some type of experience with that. I've all talked to you fuckers about that. You have to have that experience to grow from it. So I think social media is good and it's bad, but it's all about what you put into it and how you learn from it. You, like Tim said, y'all can do the same shit he does, but it's years of experience and practice behind it. Boom! Buy Mecha decals, bitch.
All right, so real quick, like we haven't heard a damn word out of Julio. Like Julio, come on, talk to us.
Dude. So it's definitely something that's like you said, both good and bad. I think the major split between that is what you're doing with your social media. There are people who just want to share what they build. And there's people who want to share what they build to be well known. There's people that do what they do on Instagram, or Facebook, or they make their own Facebook pages, to sell stuff. Then there's people that do it because they want to be some kind of celebrity and, charge people $10 for free kits. But, it really just all depends on, I personally, I think it just depends on what you're trying to do with it. I started out not really posting anything on Instagram, and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool, sharing stuff with people. Got to meet a couple of people. They were like, dude, yeah, post more, like get involved and stuff like that. It's a great community. Then, I tried going at sort of a, let me find something for myself to do, and I fucking hated it. I was like, no, I'm just not gonna do this shit because I'm lazy as fuck. So, now it's like I feel Instagram is kind of good because before this whole COVID-19 thing happened, I was putting together free build events for people, just telling them come through, hang out, and this is something that I thought about before, I wanted to do before, and it took about a year and a half of like trying to reach out and making it happen, and it finally fucking happened. And social media itself helped get those people in there, because who the fuck shows up to these kind of things if you don't have anybody to tell, if you don't have any reach, if people don't share it, people don't tell others, hey, look, check this out, come take a look. So I honestly think that it just really depends on what you're doing with social media and what the goal of doing that is. Right now, for me, it's getting in touch with people. I love meeting people, love talking to people. I also hate people equally as much, but
same, bro.
For the most part, I really do like a lot of the people that I meet, and I do try to put everybody that I meet in the best light possible until they prove otherwise. But that's a joyful experience. Each and every one of you guys, and so many other people in the chat. Like, these are people that I've never would have thought I would have ran into. I mean, the fucking Julio's mutual friends with like 3 people I knew, and I had no idea. And that's how he and I got to talking. We were like, "Yo, check this dude out. He does it too." We started talking, and it just kind of stemmed out from there. It was great. And that's all because of social media. Now I have friends. I did have friends that were into the hobby. I wasn't into it myself. Then I got dragged back into it. And now it's like, this is kind of just a big thing for me. A lot of my friends now are just people who are only into the hobby. Not just Gunpla, but scale modeling in general. There's people that are, man, how do I even put it? There's people that don't even like build shit anymore, and they still like ask me, "Hey, you built this? How's that? How's this?" And they're still keeping in touch with me because they remember I did this.
Hell yeah!
So that's totally the best part about social media, and putting forth what you want to do with it and having that goal and reaching that goal is, I think, the most helpful and least harmful bit about it.
Yeah. And
the most harmful bit about it is when you're trying to achieve a goal that is just not, how do I put this? It's just not something you should reach for. You want to get like the 10,000, fans, whatever, upticks and all this other nonsense, but you're putting out this crap that you really don't enjoy. That's harmful to you. That's harmful. And it's like, you get, burnout is a real thing. And
love that.
If you're constantly trying to generate this persona and, present yourself a certain way, that bullshit is tiring, man. It's.
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
I got a lot of new white people in my life.
What?
Just saying. I love Jalen.
Too many unseasoned dinners going on.
For sure. But totally, like, the most helpful part is what you're doing with it, reaching that goal and making sure you're enjoying it yourself. And the most harmful part is when you're doing something that's just not good for you.
Fair.
Getting wrapped up in nonsense that you don't need to be wrapped up in. That shit is not helpful.
You said something earlier. I'm going to interrupt everyone real quick. It's really, really fast. You said something earlier when you started talking about intentions of doing it. I don't care who you are. Everyone's intentions is visible as shit, whether you do it on purpose or not. Everyone can tell if you don't truly fucking enjoy the thing doing and you're in it for XYZ monetary value, whatever it is. You can tell that intention the fucking millisecond someone opens their mouth publicly.
Yeah, it shows. It shows, and it also shows when you can see that the person's steering away from that kind of nonsense.
Yeah,
the content
never even
changes.
come up with people that I know that are building or presenting themselves as that. It is wild.
You know what's crazy? If it wasn't for social media, I would have never known that Julio lives like 3 blocks away from my dad's shop.
Yeah,
and it's and I've been there for years, and I'm like, where are the Gunpla builders at? And boom, Instagram. What the fuck? You're right there, you asshole. You never thought of coming down the block and saying hi? You did.
Did you learn that before or after you were in California?
This was after in California. This was in November. This was in November when I went to New York.
Yeah.
Like, so Julio, just real quick, I wanted to go back to the build meets and everything. And I just want to touch on that. Explain to everybody what your takeaway is from that. What do you get out of holding those build meets personally?
A sense of pride and accomplishment.
Why so?
No, not at all. Not at all. That's a joke. What I get out of it is just the joy of having a bunch of people, a bunch of nerds hanging out. It's a place for people to get together and enjoy the hobby. That's what I get out of it. I love that shit. I absolutely fucking love it. Dude, I could sit in a room, okay, not all day, but maybe like
you have no choice.
Day,
you have no choice now.
6 hours.
Yeah. That enjoy,
6
put
feet
the
apart,
models
though.
together, just 6 feet apart though. And
no more than 10.
You know, it's fun. It's fun getting to talk with all these people, getting to know these people. You know, sharing pointers, sharing stupid shit, arguing. You know, Earth Federation, Xeon. You want the High News, Zabi, the Nightingale, the this and that. You know, why does everybody love the fucking Leo? Who knows why? You know, like stuff like that. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's almost like what we're doing right now. You know, we're conversing, and you know, we're sharing our thoughts. And you know, that's something in a very, you know, physical format. People sitting there, they're putting their models together, they're showing off what they got, and you know, it's an enjoyable experience. What I get out of it personally is the fun. That's what I like.
You can have pride. You can have pride in that, though. You can have pride in that.
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm proud of you.
I'm
proud of you, bro. What? We two got together. I was like,
no
round of applause.
Everybody's proud of you.
It's something.
Julio, I'm very proud of you.
Well, thank you. I mean,
I'm like, what? I'm here. Like, which one? Like,
So every time he says that, I have to look at
one of you three. I don't know.
This time I was assuming he was talking to me because every time I hear somebody say this Julio, I'm assuming they're talking to Julio. Now, sometimes they're talking to Frankie.
I'm gonna kick your ass when I go to New York, bro. I'm telling you.
After enough he's definitely talking to Frankie when he says that.
Oh man.
Do you all think there can be a positive side to having monetary value to a build meet? I'm curious because I know the answer. I want to see if you guys know the answer.
If it's funding future ones, yeah.
Just a meet?
Build meet. Having
people walk into a fucking room and build kits and just conversing?
Yeah.
Fuck no.
You're wrong.
Dude. I don't think there's.
I'll be wrong. I'll be wrong. I don't care.
I mean,
I don't know if there's any. I don't know if there's any value making profit on it.
No,
per se.
Not personal
covering.
profit.
Yeah, covering expenses, perfectly fine.
Dude, it's. I'm gonna tell you all this, and everyone watching out there, the best thing you can do for your local store is set up a build day. And I have literal, analytical, and physical proof of that because at Hangar 18, back in 2016, when we started these meets, they're in a room no bigger than this room here, pretty much. It's a small, rinky-dink little shop, and just the beginning of this year, which God. Terrible timing. They moved into a new location that's fucking huge solely from the income of Gundam model kit sales because every single fucking Sunday there is a herd of dope fucking nerds having fun, hanging out, building model kits. I push people to buy shit wherever they can find it. They're like, oh, do you guys got this? I was like, nah, we can get it in, or if you don't want to wait, get off USA Gundam. Fuck, go to New Tape. I don't give a fuck. Get it. Whatever makes you happy and you come back here. And shit you not, there's people that started doing that. And they're like, well, I'll just wait till you guys get it. They switched that format. And the owner of that store said, you know what? We've never charged once for a meetup. We've never charged for anything. All the contests are free to enter. Frankie. Yes,
but
Frankie?
Okay, so sir, you said one key word there. Yeah. Your local hobby shop. That's a difference. If you're supporting your local hobby shop, there's nothing fucking wrong with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the key difference. Because if you're just going to some fucking rando shit hole in the wall place.
Yeah, dude.
Some dive bar.
It's weird. But like here's the thing though. Dude, I know some of that shit had the build meets you do, some of that comes out of your pocket. To set up the renting the venue and shit, right? Don't you do a venue?
Yeah. I mean, just about all of it comes out of my pocket.
Yeah.
You know, I got people. You know, Manny helps out, Julio helps out. You know, a couple other people. You know, they pitch in, and you know, if they can't pitch in, you know, they offer something up. Here, give this away. Here's something. You know, give it away to somebody.
You know what's dope about that? Because instead of saying fuck it, cover charge, you said, you know what? Let me. Either whatever, I'm sure you didn't have to suck in your pride and say, but sometimes it's hard asking for help, and it's easier just to charge people $10 and be an asshole, dude. Like, you have the backing of a great community that you met online that helps you fund this thing that's not directly supporting a hobby shop at all. There's no monetary value technically to your build meetup, but it's such a huge value to everyone that's there because they have a spot to go to that they don't have to worry about. a cover charge. They don't have to worry about being on film if they don't want to be on film. You know, it's I hate fucking saying it, it's like a safe space because you have built that with the intentions that are transparent to everyone, and everyone sees that and they want to go. Dude, I would love to go to your build meets, but I live in North Carolina. And that's how I tied in everything that I ramble about. That's a podcast, boys. Woo! That's how it's done.
I mean, there's a real good advantage to this.
I want to add
what you were saying. Okay, so this place, Kinokuniya, their selection is abysmal. Anybody who's been there could tell you that they didn't have jack shit.
True. It's true.
And, you know, once I pitched this idea, I told them, look, you know, we can make this work. Even Julio could tell you, they were just like, okay, look, we're going to start ordering more stuff. If you can make this happen, this will be beneficial. You guys will have a space. You know, we'll get more stock in. It'll be great. You know, kind of like this weird, like, little symbiotic relationship. And it's been working out. And every time, you know, we have a build meet, you know, the manager's telling me, look, corporate fucking loves you guys. Like, you know, you're getting people in here. You know, the sales are actually going up.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And, you know, it's to the point right now where, you know, before all this happened, the store manager was pitching the idea that he was saying, hey, look, this is great what you're doing. I feel bad that you have to pay for this every time. We're going to try and find a way that, you know, we can do something for you so it doesn't have to come or, you know, entirely out of your pocket. And, you know, they were thinking about maybe reaching out to Bluefin, telling them, look, we're doing this. They're selling your product. You know, maybe you should support them, put in a little bit, you know, just to cover, you know, the venue fees, you know, for like, you know, the 3-4 hours that we get there. And then, you know, everybody started catching this virus.
And then so, exploded. But dude, that's fucking cool as shit.
But, you know, that's the direction it was going in. They were just saying, look, we appreciate this. This is great. And I have not seen anything from them. They haven't given me anything. They haven't paid me anything. They haven't even given me a fucking SD kit to take home and be like, here, this is yours. Fucking take it. You know, they haven't even done that. It's just been, when are you coming back?
Right.
If I could add on to this, back in 2014, 15, when I was living in Florida, the reason why I say like I don't think there should be a cover charge or whatever when you're doing a build meet is because I haven't had an issue myself with a hobby store or hobby shop welcoming in this traffic, right? Because it's both parties are beneficial. You know what I mean? It's like, let us host a build meet. We'll bring people just to hang out. And most likely they'll buy some of your kits. They'll buy some of your tools. They'll buy some of your product because you're in the store. You're already here. You know what I mean? It's like shit's over here. It's I don't have to wait a week from Amazon or 2 days now or whatever it is to get a high grade or a master grade, and I can start building, you know, with my friends. And that's why I always thought like, yo, why even charge when the hobby shop will welcome this shit? You know, if there's the space, if there's the seating, why not put butts in those chairs, right? And they can make their money. You can have your space. You can have your fun. Everybody wins. That's why I'm always like, why even charge to just sit down and talk shit? Like I can just do this outside at a park on a fucking blanket and enjoy the sun. Maybe catch some, you know, fucking
vitamin D
or whatever, or whatever. But you know, it's very possible, and I've done it with people before. It's not hard. It's very easy.
You know, any hobby shop I've ever hit, I bought something. It's like, oh, it's my first time here. I'm getting some.
$10, $5. It's something. Dude. They're making money. It's more than what they would have done if nobody would have came. Yeah. You know, it was with Tate's in Fort Lauderdale. Like there'd be days that their satellite doesn't have anybody, and there'd be days where it's fucking popping. You know, but adding on those like 10, 20 heads coming down just to talk shit and nerd out, it helps. You know, and then at the same time, we got our own space. Not our own space, but
I mean, it's yours. It's your space. Like not like monetary in value, but like that's your home, dude.
You'll feel more comfortable. It's not like you're going to a fucking restaurant or a bar or some shit, and you're fucking building Gunpla and some dude over here. You even though like if somebody was looking at me, I'm gonna beat their ass on the spot. You know what I'm saying? But like, not everybody's yes, Dad. I fight people. I get into a lot of fights.
That's you got too much New York in you still, saying.
Yo, no, it's never going away. You can take the kid out of New York, but you can't take the New York out of fuck. I mean, other way.
Oh, shit. But yo, so to touch on what you said, like you've never had an issue with going to a hobby store. This goes back to the transparency. Your motivation is very transparent. There was a Hobby Town USA here. It's actually where I bought all my first stuff for Gunpla, and I went to them first. I went to them because it was the first shop I went to. They're very nice and helpful. And Jude wasn't fucking having it. He's like, no way I'm having a bunch of fucking nerds in here. It's going to be like a card store. They went out of business 2 months later when Hangar 18 started doing their month.
Well, you can't say there's not stupid people out there, but if you're smart, you'll know where the money's at. Especially if you're thinking in a business aspect. Like, what's the biggest issue for brick and mortar stores is people walking in.
Foot
traffic. That's your biggest set. You can do everything online. You can do everything. But if you don't have people coming in, like, it's kind of tough. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, social media helps a lot nowadays, but if you don't have that, you're fucked. Your time is limited, you know. But like I was saying, Tate's it's not corporate; they're their own company. So they fucking took that shit. They ate that shit alive. Like, give me Gunpla building. Like,
well, Tex, you started. You've entered the hobby store gang of working as a retail person, and you and Tim both do the children events, which God could not fucking do that.
Hey, that's her.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Tex did it, and then
that's
Tim
all her,
also helps out. I saw it as when Tim was
present. I wouldn't have been able to host
was there.
the Arizona one if Tim wasn't there already. And like
There you
said, hey, I know a guy, girl,
But
whatever.
having
Guy.
store and having, because like here's the thing, right? You know, a parent's more likely to bring their kid to a hobby store than some fucking hole in the wall in New York that's not a hobby store, because that's a little sketch.
Come to the soup kitchen and build plastic.
Hey, yo, son, drop the kid off here, son. We got Tim's and SD's, kid. Like, they don't want to hear that. But like, you have.
I'm offended.
I don't know if you guys do build meets there, but like having that spot, I'm sure is something where you can do more and more and more of these, and it benefits.
Oh, absolutely! It's been a topic of conversation for a while, and just it's about using the space that we have. But you know, everything going on, it's been put on moot for now. But yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. That's
cool.
Chat's got
Real
a lot to talk about too.
Real quick, we got some other questions to ask here. So real quick, a couple super chats I gotta recognize here. Fudabi always says do not forget Francisco Scaramanga, and also this needs more snacks.
Yo, facts, because I'm running out of nuts.
Yo, I'm a snack right here, son. What are you talking about, kid?
My whole goddamn meal.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm a whole ass
I'm a 7-course meal.
Hey, you're a fucking buffet, Joel.
And then
Holy Corral, bro.
And then Manny with the $2 super chat again. He says Nega Julio is proud of you.
Yeah, thanks, Manny.
All right, good stuff. All right,
Manny's great.
Real quick, we got to get some rotation in here. We gotta get our get some other folks on camera here. So let's see, Frankie, Chooch, Armida. Let's re-up.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you.
Whatever. Go pee. Yes. Have fun. Pabs. Kodo Kid.
Oh, yo,
and look at this dude coming back after 2 hours.
Oh shit! XX.
Ba-da-ba, 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 ba-da-ba.
Anyway, all right. So let's get another question here, shall we, kids? This one here is from Diligent New Type. This is kind of an easier one. What's a great way to prep movable joints for paint?
I'm out.
Masking. Just
masking?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I do is whenever I prime 14 times or whatever you guys say, which I do. I mask the peg if it's a peg to make sure that you don't get additional layers on that thing, and it stays nice and tight, but also not too tight. So
Conversely, sometimes I will paint the peg if it's a little loose.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Which again makes it tight.
Right. nice and tight.
Just the right kind.
Yeah.
What I'll do sometimes though, if there's going to be an interference, if you're looking for a clearance and you're going to be doing some sort of like paint application, you know, some of the stuff that I've done has been a lot of layers of masking and layers of color. I'll reduce, you know, back up that side a little bit, take it down with a sandpaper or a file or something like that to increase the space between the joint and the relationship armor so that it doesn't scrape the paint off, essentially. So that's another thing.
Well, for me, I will actually try to have it detached and then glue it back together at the end when I'm doing the assembly. It's a lot easier for me than start doing all this masking. It's a waste of time for me. It's a waste of material. So
I'll just bring it over to the dojo.
I'll just fight me, son. But what's it called? I just detach the joints. And what's it called? Paint them and then just attach them back.
Yeah.
There's no point of like personally for me, there's no point for me to having to mask it. And then what happens is sometimes if some people are not really trained when it comes to airbrushing, sometimes it may be too wet and it might be lay on top of the tape. And when you're trying to peel it off, next thing you know, you're taking some chunk out of the of whatever armor plating or whatever it might be. So I just rather chop that bitch, prep it separately, and then glue it back together.
Just pop it in place, huh?
Pop it.
I got you. All right. Julio, what do you do?
Well, first and foremost, I check to see which parts actually do touch one another. You know, you get a how would I put it? Do I have something here I can use as an example? Actually, no, I don't. I would, let's take for example the front skirts. You know, front skirts, for example, those are moving parts. You don't want the inside rubbing up against, the front of the legs or, that little crotch piece, whatever it's called on a Gundam, or any model in general. I do the same thing Mikkel does. I separate it, take it apart, paint it that way, and then once I put it together, I just try to make sure it's got a top coat on it, something to protect that paint before putting it back together. Same thing with like shoulder joints, shoulder arms. If we're talking, ball joints and stuff like that, I just kind of generally paint them anyway. I give them a little light sanding, not too tight, not too loose. It's enough to hold its gun up. But, for the moving joints, just take them apart, paint them, top coat it, do everything I got to do, give it a protective layer, assemble it back together, and then, just make sure that nothing is rubbing up against itself.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I do too. I mean, I pre-assemble the model and kind of find out where things are, where the friction points are. And then I sand those back a little bit, just a bit, nothing crazy. And then that way, once the layers of primer and paint go on there, it's good to go.
Yeah.
Slides smooth. And it's still tight.
Hey, gotta keep it tight.
Reasonably tight.
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 It's the name of the game.
Damn right it is. Damn right it is. All right, good stuff. All right, so that covers that one. I think we got one more from our audience here. Let's see. Let's get Baby J back in here. So, Joel here, real quick. I'm gonna rotate you out here. That was fucking great. Oh, Jay, she is painting circles. Look at this. John Lynn.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. We didn't know you were painting circles there. Or are they Haros?
If you're interested in a piece of abstract horror art, I got this one for sale, $10. You can like it.
There we go.
Never stop hustling.
You've heard of abstract art on Haros. How about Haros on abstract art?
There we go.
Always on the hustle, Jay. Admirable.
Speaking of branding, ABC, always be closing. I like it. All right, so this last question here comes from Rio Horton. How do you control dust in your work environment and keep it off your models while paint dries?
While paint dries or during paint? Because during paint is a nightmare.
Yeah, it could be either. Yeah.
No,
how do you
totally
control
sucks.
how do you control dust in your work environment? Let's just go with that.
All right, so I have.
Oh, here we go.
I have one of those large
Dehumidifier?
containers.
Bucket?
Yeah, one of those organized containers or whatever. You just put in clothing and whatever. Those big
Sure.
Tupperware?
huge
Laundry
ones.
bins. Laundry
Yeah.
basket.
Yeah.
No,
The
he's got a
body
big
bag.
storage container.
Yeah,
right.
the clear
Anyway.
ones. Anyway.
Yeah.
Shipping
Yeah, like
container.
a sterilite box, essentially. Yeah.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Anyway.
So basically, I have two fans connected to each other, directing the flow of air, and basically it has the computer filters on it. It's 120 millimeter fans.
Mhm.
So basically, as soon as I'm done spraying, it comes in, closes down, and it keeps the airflow keeps coming through, nice and clean in order to get things dry as keep on going. So that's my thing. It's inexpensive. You can buy one of those those containers in what's it called at a Home Depot
Anywhere.
for $7.99
Yeah.
for a 20-gallon. You just modify it. Just go to your local micro center or whoever, or even you have a spare computer that it's not working. Just take out the fans out, hot wire that bitch.
Yeah, you're talking about making a
And-
drying box, essentially, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, how do
So-
you do it? How do you control? I'm sorry, Babs. Go.
No,
who
no,
wants
that's
to go?
fine. Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead.
No,
Right.
I mean, I do have an issue because my landlord downstairs smokes cigars, and I have 2 cats in my house. So, yeah, I'm always cleaning shit. Ultimately, I keep a makeup brush around, like a donated makeup brush from my wife that I'll dust my parts with to make sure that they're clean prior to that, and ultimately it's diligence. So if you're talking about like prior to paint, now I paint acrylics, so I'm a little bit different, and everything dries fairly quickly.
Yeah.
If you're dealing with like longer dry stuff, it sucks. I've dealt with like a little bit with my chroming and stuff like that. It sucks. Like I can even see little particles of shit flying around in the air here right now. It sucks, man. And it is not easy. Really, like if you're in like my situation where it's like a high traffic, we'll call it, sort of situation, you just really have to like do your best to stay on top of it. And like, I mean, for me, I work towards it. So everything I try to do is either a matte or a super semi gloss.
Gotcha. Pabs?
So I do a couple of things. So first of all, whenever I do paint, I have a humidifier in the room. Keeps the dust nice and heavy, so it falls to the ground faster. I use one of these Tamiya anti-static brushes to keep dust off before I paint, so that so the plastic doesn't attract dust. And then when I'm painting in the spray booth, usually I grab a few paper towels and I wet them and I put them on the floor, on the bottom of the spray booth. So when I'm spraying, it takes some of the extra dust and the extra paint particles out from the air and onto the
Nice.
towel, and that keeps it, that keeps my spray booth nice and clear of any kind of particles that might ruin my paint job. And I think, what else do I do? Usually when my stuff is drying, I keep it within the direction of the humidifier, and I mean that's pretty much it. Like it's all just making sure that the dust, because I mean dust is always gonna is always gonna settle some way. It doesn't matter how clean you have your house. I mean if you have animals and stuff, it's even more of a nightmare. So you're fighting a losing battle. So you just have to typically try to stay clean and just brush. Just so whenever say I do a prime layer, once it dries, I dust it off, and I do another, I do the color or whatever. So you just have to kind of do your due diligence, and that's it.
Gotcha. Julio, what about you?
Yeah, I kind of follow the same method Chris does. When I paint, I take old newspaper that I'm going to plan to throw out, wet it a little so it's damp, not wet, but just damp enough. Goes into the spray booth, kind of sits there, it catches up a lot of things. Before I actually start priming, I give them a little wipe down with a microfiber try to get it as clean as possible. Make sure there's no oils on there or anything. And then after that, they get a little dusting with like a kabuki brush or something. One of these guys.
Okay.
They get a nice dusting. It gets it in nice little areas, close cracks and stuff like that. Make sure that's all there after it's primed. Just kind of keep an eye on it. I cheat a little. I use a heat gun. Just kind of like pepper the parts slightly, just help it cure a little faster.
Okay.
After that, check the parts, see if there's any particles on there. If there is any, it's light sanding. Apply paint or primer again. Just try to follow that process. And, every time between paints and everything, it's always dusting everything down. Wiping it down, dusting it down, making sure there's no like little hairs, little fine hairs and stuff like that. Sometimes you do kind of find one or two on a part. I'll pick them off with some tweezers, and if it's like a part that's kind of hidden and it's not that big of a deal, then I kind of just go with it and just take it. I really shouldn't, but as I mentioned earlier, I'm lazy, and at this point, I'm just tired of painting. I just want to get on with it. Start painting other parts, start masking stuff like that. But more or less, same deal as Chris. Get something damp, catch a lot of the residual dust and air. I don't really use a humidifier. It's fairly nice in my house, usually all the time. If it feels nasty in here, I just don't paint at all.
Gotcha. Cool deal. All right, so last question of the night, guys, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Where do you see this hobby in 5 years?
I see it larger than it is now. Because I know with a lot of like girls and women getting into this hobby and, catching on a broader audience and like nerd-related things getting more popular, I feel like it's gonna get a little bit larger in 5 years. Because I see more like younger girls out my local buying bear guys and stuff, and more people coming in because they got on Hulu and they watched this anime called Gundam, and that's my little piece on it.
Okay. Brian, what do you think? 5 years. Where's the hobby?
It's a good one because I've been building models off and on since the late 80s, and it always goes in and out. I haven't seen shit like what's going down right now, but the way, honestly, I think that it might actually be doing pretty good. I think that there's probably like this. I mean, do you talk about scale modeling, or are you just talking about like mecha? Like, what do you? I mean, that's the thing,
Gunpla.
Like Gunpla.
Specifically Gunpla.
Specifically Gundam related IP.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
scale modeling Gundam. Yeah.
Now that's weird because where we're sitting right now, where all the cool shit is coming from, it's all based off of a lot of the things that were designed or thought up 40 years ago, right? Between like 40 and 25 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyhow, the stuff that's been coming out lately has been a little bit kind of like softened, like the way cartoons when we were kids and we grew up and watched fucking Thundercats and Voltron and like, whatever. The way that they do cartoons now is kind of like softened a little bit. Like it's like
childish.
Yeah, well, in a way, but also at the same time, it's a commodity.
Basically,
they're dealing with like lower content or like softer content all around. It's easier to absorb in mass and more generally liked as a whole. So you lose some of the like things that I think some of us older heads appreciate a little bit more with this particular aspect of the hobby that's going down now. Do I think it's going to be hype? Of course, it's going to probably be hype. Come on, man. This is cool shit. It's always going to be cool shit. And I'm going to be around in 5 years, and I'm going to be pushing this. Come on. So, like, I think it's going to be great. I'm curious to see where it goes. I'd love to see more. And like, I'm not going to speculate here for a second and go on a little bit of a diatribe, but I'd like to see more of stuff with like the origin line, like beginning Gundam. I'd love to see them take that and kind of like Tickle, the reworking of it. There's hints of that, but that's what I'd like to see, and I think that would do more to bring in like a stronger IP, and then obviously carry on things that are strong, like Thunderbolt and that sort of stuff. So I don't know. Sorry. So yeah, I think this is gonna be good. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Rock and roll, Julio.
It's a little hard to say. On one side of the coin, I kind of don't see it advancing in the next 5 years, maybe the next 10. But at the same time, I'm just some dude who enjoys models, so I really have no clue. It has been gaining popularity. I kind of see more people are into Gundam now than I have in the past. Especially growing up, I knew people who watched it, but nobody that built the models. And now it's like I know plenty of people that build the models, so it's definitely gaining in popularity. Is that a good thing? Yes. Is it a bad thing? Yes. But right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I don't think in the next 5 years it's gonna change. It's kind of gonna stay the same. But I do think within the next 10 years it will, we'll start to see some actual change.
Okay, Pabs, what do you think?
The only way is up, right? I think in the course it's taking right now, it looks like it's headed towards a more popular path. It's always been kind of a niche market in the West, but it's becoming more of the norm as the years go by. We're getting a lot less gatekeeping these days. So back in the day, it felt like a club that you couldn't get in because of certain people or certain mentalities, and that's going away, pretty quickly and more recently. So I think since the gates are wide open, more people are introduced to it, more people are exposed to it, whether it be in hobby shops or Barnes. Freaking Barnes and Noble now are stocking Gunpla. Hobby Towns and other stores are seeing the value that they're getting from these little robot kits. The only way is up, and I think if we stay on this course, pretty soon it's going to be even more mainstream, and I see absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Honestly, in 5 years, I think we may very well see the top blow right off this thing. I'm optimistic, honestly. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at the sales of Gunpla over the last just 2 years, they've outpaced all other hobby, more scale modeling segments combined, right? That coupled with the potential movie, the eventual movie that's going to come out, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, it's going to draw people in. Whether it's to figures, whether it's to the other anime, whether it's to whatever, I think a lot of it's going to trickle down and eventually find the scale models. And you're going to find, a good portion of that are going to get into it and stay into it. Like, wow, why didn't I know this existed before, right? I think...
Sorry.
Go ahead, Brian.
I was just going to say, with the popularity of the IP, like you were talking about the growth of that, and then the ease of accessibility for the modeling kits, how easily they are to put together, and to be a cool looking thing that you can put on your shelf without going into the stuff that we all do. Like you can just you can snap build a kit straight off, and it looks amazing, and that is really attractive to people that are excited about new IPs. Like you want that thing, You watch a movie, or I don't know, maybe that's just me or something like that. You want to try to get a part of it, like Evangelion back in the 90s when that was super hype, or whatever Patlabor or whatever. You want to try and get a little bit of it. And if it's accessible and it's very user friendly, then that is like a spark. It's almost like a rainmaker thing.
Also on the flip side of the coin, you have to realize that in its essence, Gunpla isn't marketed towards Westerners, right? And even if it dies out here, and I know it won't, it's always going to thrive because it's directed towards that Asian Japanese market. It's always going to grow there. It's been their money maker for like 4 years now. So it's yeah. I mean, no matter what happens here to us, to the West, it's always going to be around, and it's only ever going to grow, whether it be here and there or just there. It's going to grow.
I'd also like to note as more like movies pick up on the mecha genre and the whole giant robots, because I didn't get into Gundam by watching the anime or anything. I got in by Pacific Rim. I walked into my hobby store and I'm like, do you got any Pacific Rim stuff? And then I check over their boxes. And I picked up a box and I'm like, this is a cool looking robot. I didn't know it was a model kit at first. I thought it was just a figure in a box. And I'm like, sure, I'll pick it up. I take it home. It's a model kit. So I'm like, I don't know how to fucking do this. So I go and I find something I can knit with, and then I put it together, and I'm like, this is fucking snazzy. 2 years later, and it's my life. I'm addicted to plastic crack.
And now you're selling abstract art with Haros on it.
Yeah, like I'm doing.
And Haros with abstract art on it.
You know what? Let's if you guys
Full
want
circle.
if you guys want to rotate me out, Joel has a hot take on this.
Yeah, I saw that. Okay, cool. Thank you, Paps. Appreciate that, buddy.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, let's get Jolie in here. All right, Joel, where's your hot take? Let's go. Here we go.
No, we actually talked about this on a unaired episode.
An unaired episode? You mean there's a lost episode of the Cutting Mat?
No, I haven't edited it yet. That's it.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. I was getting excited there.
It's a combo of kind of everyone's answers. I recently opened up a toy store, and I've been going down this rabbit hole of Bandai and Japanese toy companies through Showa era. And what I learned and what I see with this hobby in 5 years is that it's going to grow. It's not going to explode. It's going to rotate. The hobby's going to rotate. It's going to be a consistent growth with a steady flow. It's not going to peak. It's not going to fall. It's not going to have a weird thing to it, because the thing is that we all got into the hobby from a consumer aspect of the thing that was made to sell toys. Gundam was made to sell toys. That's what it's always been. But like I think Brian was saying earlier, is that we want to get a piece of that cool thing we grew up with now. It's a very big thing, and you actually see it currently with Bandai. They're doing the Super Mini-Po line of Sentai series from the 70s and 80s, because they know their market is also older generation people, and that's going to keep happening. It's just going to rotate with the shows. They're going to rotate with the IPs that target both young and old. I think what we're going to see, though, is like a lot of newer people coming in, and there's going to be the groups of collectors and then people that go into the making side of things. I think a lot of us here in this room will, maybe some of us will be doing Gundam. Some of us may be doing other things that are related to the core scale modeling. Brian's a great example of that. He does fucking everything. But like, I think a lot of it has to do probably with Gundam. And we're going to see that evolution of those people as they get older. They're still intertwined into the Gunpla hobby, but they may be doing XYZ. But that steady growth of new people coming in and old people phasing out and still staying connected is going to keep it a nice, rapid growth and pace to the hobby versus a boom fuck. We had the boom fuck. We had the Gundam Wing of Toonami age. That was the oh fuck, and they didn't handle it correctly. So it went down to the unknown. We're handling it correctly. There's content, the internet, makers, companies, hobby stores. Brick and mortar hobby stores are on the rise. When the fuck was that ever going to happen again? Never. Until
like
this
in the 80s, man.
Exactly. Well, in the last time, everyone remembers a Gundam model kit is when they're in Walmart or KB Toys and the level 5 Gundam Wing was there, but it exploded so much the repercussion and cleanup was not there. We've had the explosion. The amount of content in YouTube on YouTube is fucking insane. like even weird shit now, like the ASMR guy that builds and stuff. Like 55 people are doing 55-hour-long videos and editing it into a minute just to show the hobby, and the dude just snap builds, and that's fucking great. And we're gonna see so much podcasts, YouTubes, all this online content, and it's so good because it's gonna keep it flowing and give a home to all of us that are gonna evolve and do other shit. I'm doing like fucking props and Star Wars shit, but I fucking love Gundam, and I don't think that's ever gonna change unless Gundam fucks up and does something just so bad that even the young and the old hate it. Because guess what? The old can hate it and the young can keep it going. It's just IPMS. IPMS just gets, I mean, it's grim, but Chaz, the organizer from ODO, he brought that. He's like, we're going to be dead in 25 years. We need to keep this going because they never had that issue. They were the original ones. So it's yeah, that's my take on it.
Fair enough. I think the big determining factor is going to be this movie.
Yeah,
if that blows up,
well, it depends if they put a commercial before it in the theater when you're like, wait a sec, I can build the thing I'm about to watch. Oh fuck yeah, dude! Like, why are they running Gunpla commercials on Hulu?
Good.
I'd also
wait, because they fucked up and put on a free streaming service that it paid to not get commercials. That's why.
I'd also like to note, even with like the Olympics, if that gets postponed, Japan's putting out a giant freaking robot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How's that not going to catch people's attention? And they're going to be like, where'd that from? I want to know. Why we're a giant robot? What up, Japan?
If something happens with the giant robot and it kills like 1,000 people,
wow. Yeah.
Look at my daughter, man. Now she's into the what's it called, the giant mecha themes. We were watching Messenger Z Infinity the other day.
Okay.
She asked me, Daddy, is that robot available? Can you buy it for me and we can build it?
That's awesome.
Shit. So she's getting into all that stuff, man.
That's so
She's just 5. She just had a show. She had a show and tell today.
And I saw the pictures. That was adorable.
Yeah.
So she takes her time and everything. Like, she left it here because she wanted me to build a shelf.
Hey, if she wants some painted bear guys, I have some.
Oops, there you go. I'm always open to take bear guys for her. But anyways.
Dude, that's so cool, man.
She's been into it. She loves it. I mean, I've been teaching her how to use the tools. And it's gonna grow, man. Because like right now, as I'm seeing it, like my daughter just showed people, I mean, her other kids, other friends, and they loved it. Now the parents were hitting me up, asking me, where can we buy it?
That's awesome.
Right. Because like, oh, little Carter wants to snap it. It's like, is it easy? It's like, yeah, it's easy. It's a starter kit. Yeah. You just little nippers. Just be around him. Just make sure he doesn't cut himself open.
Yeah.
And, it's a fun thing to do. I mean, it was like a half an hour for her. Because I was trying to teach her how to clean up the nubs properly. It's like you cut here, now use this blade and cut. It's like, and my wife is like, don't worry, she got this. And she's doing it.
Nice.
Now she's talking about these foam sand thingies. It's that she likes it because it's like, oh, I can do it. It's like, yeah, you can. Now she's giving me a project for me to fix this, and she want me to put Gundam armor on it. So,
oh shit,
dude, fuck yeah.
So
I was
that's awesome.
Real quick. You can phase me out for someone. Lego.
Yeah,
that's how Gunpla's gonna be. Think about it. They have a show showing the weird side of Lego building now on TV. We're following their footsteps. There's gonna be a Gunpla Master show in like 2 years.
Yeah.
So it's
like the whole cosplay.
Legos.
Yeah, the whole cosplay thing blew up a few years ago, and now the freaking Lego thing, like, it's a matter of time.
It's on
Chip,
that.
are you gonna host the show?
What's that?
Are you gonna host the show? Are you getting a?
I'd host that fucking show. Yeah,
dude,
they
that'd
pay
be
me.
Fucking great.
Yeah.
Okay, you can phase me out if there's anyone else waiting.
Well, I think Armida wants to say something here, so let's get her back in here real quick.
I said no such thing. I don't even know what the question was.
About Jesus Christ, really?
No.
About the armor?
Kel. Wonder Woman has armor. It's not hard.
No, I know, but she wants to use what's it called? Because I have like spare parts, and she was asking me to build it into a Gundam type style. So
You
that's
never
why
seen a frame arms girl, Mikkel?
So what?
Never seen a frame arms girl?
Frame arms
Frame
girl.
arms girl. Yeah, get her.
I have a few, but
Yeah, Kodo Kid. Yeah, he's got the hookup.
but listen. She wants to do something fresh.
I'm
You know what
saying,
I'm
just
saying?
show her the gold and the wings. Come on.
She saw it, but she said she said she didn't like it. It's too
She
gold.
ain't Persian enough. All right.
So,
Kid's done with fictional.
No, nah, I get it. I know what you mean. But when you said armor, I'm like, dude, it exists.
see, no, there's that, and then she wants me
Gotta
to do
get that
something
Wonder
for her
Woman
too,
with some
so-
funnels.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The beam lasso. That's genius right there. Come on.
You know. But I don't know, man. I see it. This thing is gonna grow depending what market they hit and who they're directing it to. I mean, if they treat this kind of like the '80s, the super robot genre type style, and they show up that fun side of it, kids are gonna like it.
Oh, they're already following the model with the TV show toy. Every kid's TV show that's out now, they have a corresponding toy, not too far behind.
I know. Just
true story.
That's how it works.
She doesn't even like Paw Patrol no more.
Why do you sound so sad about it?
Because he invested so much.
This is his Paw Patrol time.
Yo, there was this big red ship that we modified and shit, and we put lights and everything for her. So she playing with it. She was having a ball with it, and all of a sudden now she's just like, no, I don't like it. Why? I don't like it no more. I'm like,
Man, that happens, dude.
man. Broken heart.
That happens, man.
So right now, this is what she likes. Keep her until the end. She says she doesn't want to do it anymore.
Wait till she gets 12 or 13 and she goes completely fucking emo on you.
And when she doesn't want to
Oh, back when I had my emo face.
I'm dealing with that now with my niece. She turned 10.
I'm sorry.
I turned 12 and I got into Disturbed and I started wearing a lot of black and I'm like, my life is terrible.
Why don't
about
you get
right.
me next time, John Lynn? Jesus Christ.
Bullet dodged. Friends. Bullet dodged.
Man, oh man. Looks like Frankie wants to get in on this here real quick. So let's see, Julio, we're gonna rotate you out here real quick. Let's get Frankie in here. Frankie, what do you want to say?
I think in 5 years, Gundam's gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah, why?
Because it's like, well, what True said was true, of course. But another thing is just from how I see it's growing, as far as its presence here in America, right? But I also think that it's never gonna. It's hard for it to lose its loyalty. You know what I mean? So again, it's only gonna go up. It's gonna grow. You got Build Fighters that's been doing a decent job, and from my personal experience, from what I've seen with quote unquote my kids, like my niece and my little cousins and stuff, which also my niece is going through an emo phase, and but she's loving this shit. You know what I mean? I just wanted to throw that in there. But she's loving this shit, like Gundam and all that. You know what I mean? Like she went ahead. Like I took her to New Type like a few times and shit, right? And she went from Haros and Bear Guys, and she bought her first high grade. She got her first high grade, which was the Double O Riser, right? And I was like, okay, cool, all right. Like she did that decision all on her own, and she's like, oh, because I've been watching the shows on YouTube, the Build Fighters, you know, and I've been watching it with. She's been watching it with her little brother, and like she likes it. You know what I mean? It's cool. You know, my little nephew, I got him the Gundam Universe toys, and they took him to school, right? They took him to school. This is crazy. I've never talked about this. Right? I think I haven't. But they took him to school, and then like out of nowhere, my niece is like, I have friends that are into Gundam now, and they all think you're cool. And I'm like, why? Oh, because I tell them what you do with the Gundams. Like you you paint them and all of this. Obviously, she only sees like the outside of it. When I try to explain it to her, she's just like, I'm not ready for this yet. But like, she talks about this shit, and now she's making friends in school with Gundam and like with Gundam figures and model kits and everything. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck? But yeah, I think it's gonna grow in 5 years. I think it's gonna make a bigger difference. I think it's definitely gonna go up. It's not gonna go down, especially with what they're doing with the shows and with the toys, the marketing and everything. It's gonna go up.
Stanley was saying that cross pollination from other hobbyists like the Warhammer dudes. I actually have a friend who I met through video gaming, reacquainted through Warhammer because I saw his stuff, and he's like, "Yo, I just picked up an HG Grimoire Red Beret, and I can't wait to paint this thing." And I'm like, "It's just gonna keep growing. It really is like a life tree. It's phenomenal. I love it."
It's gonna be a crossbreed hobby.
Yeah, hell yeah. That kit is phenomenal. I don't know if you guys know that. Yeah, it's phenomenal.
I don't like high grade kits, but this is actually a really pretty decent kit for a high grade kit. Not gonna
And
lie.
like aesthetically, it fits. Especially if you were born in the States, it fits so hard. It's like, what? That's a red beret, but like I need that.
It has a lot of
Really
options
does.
to do things to it.
Yeah, with the different heads and whatnot. Really, really cool.
Sure. Well, then there's different legs you can add to it too. Like there's different legs you can do and the shoulders.
Since it's the Build Fighters one, and the pilot is a little like a mongoose, he has little paws. He has little paws on it. It's like, that's cute. That's real cute.
It's cute. Oh man.
5 years explosion. Yo, if you host that show, I'm on it. I make good TV.
Hey,
you host that show, I'm going on it.
Yo, hire me as the editor. Hire me as the editor. I got you.
What?
Hey,
Yo,
TV
that's
potential. First episode airs.
let's get a proposal to the Sci-Fi Network or some shit.
Oh,
Yeah,
one thing I wanted to say that y'all mentioned about the movie.
Yeah.
I don't believe the movie's gonna help I don't think this movie, Hathaway's Flash, is gonna help.
Oh, Hathaway's Flash? No,
I don't think that's gonna help because if you read the manga, it's
the live action.
We're talking about
Oh, okay.
We're talking. Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. Not this. Not nah.
I thought you were talking about Hathaway's Flash. I'm like, no,
Nah.
no.
No.
He's gonna be bad, right?
No, the live action one. Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared for that one. I'm kind of scared for that one.
The writer for the live action is Brian K. Vaughan. He writes.
Yeah,
Saga.
yeah.
Yo, great writer, dude.
No,
great
Legendary,
writer.
Legendary does a great job. It's just I'm just afraid. I'm hoping. I mean,
that's
great.
That's kind of how we've been conditioned with
Yeah.
these types of things, right?
Yeah. Like I was so excited with Ready Player One when the fucking Gundam came out. I was like, fuck, the amount of
You know it
detail
was
to that
supposed
shit.
to be, right?
Huh?
You know that was supposed to be, right? Have you ever read the book?
No, I know the book. I mean, I didn't read the book, but my roommate was reading the book, and he told me, you know, the Gundam comes out in this book. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And then they came out in the movie, and I was like, the level of detail that they had, they put the fucking the Earth Federation decal over here in the white base. Yeah, it was a 3.0. I was like, I was the only idiot going, it's a Gundam in the fucking movie theaters. Like,
Yeah,
but
my
that
friends
shit-
look at me. They're like, "She knows what that is. She's losing it right now." I'm like, "This is the best 10 seconds of this film."
Like I took my brother, and my brother was like,
only 10 seconds of that film. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I haven't watched it on purpose.
It's so good.
It is really good. It's a
nice
good
little
movie,
fight
by
thing.
the way.
The
I'm not
book
gonna
is
lie.
better. The book
I
is
read
better.
the book, but that's why I haven't watched the movie.
It was supposed to be Ultraman.
Yeah, well, there's supposed to be a lot of things too.
Yeah, there's a lot more.
Try that thing a whole book into 2 hours though.
No,
try
you can't
that thing
do
a whole. you
And
can't.
that's how we got 6 fucking Lord of the Ring movies. Thank you so much. Fast forward the Ring movie, my favorite.
I was like, I had to tap out at a minute 45. There was still an hour and 45 minutes.
I was gonna say a minute 45. I feel you on that.
And it was all songs and shit, man.
As soon as she saw Elijah Wood, she was like, "Nope."
Stand it.
The opening credit, the title, I'm out.
It's bad.
Oh,
Tickets
man.
come out.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I thought it
like
was a
Lord
good
of the Rings.
movie. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So let's see.
Good questions. Yo, DMC was fire tonight.
Good. Yeah, you had a good time?
Yeah, hell yeah. I thought. I had thought.
For the first time in my life, I
Can you smell the
fucking
burning?
created brain.
Can you smell the burning?
Does it smell like toast?
What was that, Frankie?
For the first time in my life, I
My
created
life.
brain in
I had
my head.
electricity. I had electricity in my pudding cup.
Oh,
What?
shit.
What?
Anyway, all right, let's wrap this one up, kids. Let's wrap this one up because we've gone almost 3 on this. So
3 meaningful hours.
yeah,
Indeed, meaningful hours.
True story.
yeah.
Everyone
I
is
think we
touched
need-
me tonight.
What?
Nothing. Let's wrap it up.
He's like,
Wrap
he's
it up.
conditioned. Tim goes, what? And you're like,
Wrap it up.
Anyway, here we go. All right, so
I love the streamer.
all right, let's just go. Let's go quickly around the. Jesus,
It's cool.
Brian, go.
Hey, they call me the Kodo Kid. No, actually, they don't. They call me Bro Builder Brian.
We do. We do.
You guys can check me out on my YouTube channel, Bro Builder. I stream Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 11-ish. And yeah, that's kind of it. Instagram is Bro Builder as well. Feel free to check out my model builds. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask anytime. I'm always down to answer. Bye.
Word up. All right.
Oh,
Julio, go.
clipping nubs on the internet. Come look for me. I'm gonna talk to you, big baby Chooch. Keep it easy.
I'm logging off.
Hey guys, you can find me on Facebook, YouTube, and my store, JP Whippert and more. And give it a like, give it a subscribe, buy something.
Hey.
All right. Hey.
Ah! Got him. Oh, Frankie RG on everything, and I guess I'll do it. I guess I'll do it since we're there. Frankie RG on everything. I stream Wednesdays, and I might start streaming weekends. Gundam games. So just Twitch, Frankie RG. Instagram, Frankie.rg. And yeah, next.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Oh, shit. Hi.
Oh, shit.
Hello.
Thanks for keeping on everything. I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's the 08th MS stream at 8 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, assuming I haven't found something else to do.
I forgot to say my time.
Better.
I always say, guys, I stream right before
On YouTube.
and I always,
Brian texts me every time. Hey, Tex, I'm streaming, I swear.
so that if she's loose, then I'll fill in time. So
Yes.
Wow. All right. Let's rotate out a few people here just real quick. Brian, Julio, Frankie, real quick, and let's get Pabs and Julio too. Who we missing? Oh, Jay, we got to drop you too. Sorry about that. And Mikkel. There we go. All right. So with that being said, Pabs, go.
You can find me on Instagram, Chris_Pabs. I stream every Saturday, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, is it? And yes, I'll be streaming tomorrow to give you guys updates on the Neo Zeon right there. Nice primed. But yeah. I think I have a name for my stream now. I think it's Pabs Wizarding World. I think we're playing off the Harry Potter thing. I don't know. So yeah, you guys can fucking catch me there. You guys don't have to go to platform 9 3/4 or whatever it is. So catch me on YouTube, youtube.com/RedSuns R3D5UNZ because I can't change it.
Absolutely capitalize on the platform 9 3/4 bit holding.
Oh, we'll fucking get there real soon, fam. But yeah, yeah.
Quarters like it's all there.
Awesome.
We'll work on it. But thank you for having me.
Chris Potter. There we go. All
Chris
right.
Potter.
Julio.
You guys can find me on Instagram, Julionius. Rhymes with Hi Newleonius. You can also find me on Facebook, same exact name. I guarantee I'm the only person who has that name. I only shit post there and disappoint my family. But if you want to chat, go for it.
Isn't that what Facebook's for?
All right. Cal.
It's your main man, Maverick 176, Kel Exotic, since I'm racing Tigers now. But
Carol Baskin.
fucking Carol.
I've only seen your girls in leopard though.
Yeah, well, there you go. So yeah, I've been streaming every Monday,
That
Wednesday,
dumb little bitch, Carol Baskin.
Fuck off.
Just had to. Had to.
Fucking Carol.
Oh, I'm
Fuck that
fucking
bitch.
dead. I'm fucking
But
dead.
anyways, you guys can find me on Instagram and Facebook. I also stream at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Same time
Yeah?
as Tim.
Yeah?
And
You do that, huh?
I also stream at 3 o'clock every day.
Yeah. For 2 hours?
3 hours.
3. Oh.
3 hours of him staring off camera.
Nah, but what's it called?
He's just doing hand signs in front of the camera for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So basically, no,
ASL.
I've been trying to see. I've been working very hard, so I haven't had that much time anyway to do anything as I hope I would have actually wanted to, but I don't. But hopefully we'll be able to catch up with some work, post some stuff. Any questions, you guys can follow me right now. I'm bored. I've been making shirt logos at home, and right now we got this one Kodokai. You guys can see that. Don't have to kind of cover my hard nipples, but you know.
Little cold.
Yeah, so you know, it's something I promised Brian I was gonna do for him. You know, something kind of whatever. But you know, show him some. Trying to work on the next logo, make it a little bit more spunky. But you know, for the next show. So
all right.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for guys watching my show, and I hope to see you guys again next week.
Word.
Same time. But this time no DNC, and there's gonna be plenty of alcohol because this time doing this thing sober was kind of like hard.
Yeah, I think we're gonna swing the pendulum back in the other direction next week.
I don't mind doing this like heart to heart questions and stuff like that. But
yeah,
doing it sober kind of hard, man. That should make me fucking think.
Damn.
Difficult.
Like where will Gumpla be in 5 years? I have no fucking clue. Shit could be another fucking pandemic, and next thing you know, we're fucking locked down again.
It's true.
I don't know.
True. All right, Mikhail. Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Oh, here we go. All right, last one. This is gonna take 30 minutes. I already know it. Let's go.
One, I didn't know we were not supposed to be sober. Two, it's your boy DJ Stinky Nuts, Uncle Ricky, Fat Fabio coming at you. I'll go online as True Gumpla. And Holy Mountain Printing is as my business. Come out to the 6th annual Blunt Run for the Cure 5K. We're gonna figure it out, boys.
All right.
We got truck nuts. Let them fucking drag. That's about it.
Oh, thank you, Joel.
Get me off this fucking computer thing.
All right. Jeez. All right. Good stuff. Hey.
Tuesday and Thursday at 8 o'clock.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
that?
I'm also streaming every day when Tim is because, yeah. Fuck you.
To water down my audience? Nice. Nice. I dig it. All right. So, you guys, this has been DMCism, episode 31 of Mechanism. Catch us back here next Friday. Catch me Monday, 3 p.m. Working on the SD build, and then 10 p.m. working on the GWC build, and then just kind of every day after that. So, with that being said, we do little hand signs out. There we go.
Hey, I bought look at the thing I got.
Oh, look at the Mandalorian. Yo, look at the Neo Zeon. What? And the White Claw and the Neo Zeon.
Rep your gangs, everybody. Throw them up, dog. Who you
Yeah, I
represent?
mean, everybody really is kind of throwing up their thing. Holy shit. All right. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Jesus.
Bye-bye.